And good morning and welcome to the Waking Up Thoughtcast. I'm your host, Amy Kay, and I've got Banksy. Hi. Oh, why can't I hear you? Oh my God, did you mute yourself like right when I said I was going to start?
No, I'm still going. What?
It went quiet. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, thank goodness.
I was a bit worried.
I was all quiet, but I just I wanted to be all quiet to for you to do the intro, and then I would go for it.
You know that I would never ever mind if you interrupted me ever, right?
Oh no, you don't ever say that.
That's
I will
okay.
never interrupt.
I think that's
professionalism.
That's just part of the package, isn't it? Sometimes when we get excited when we're talking, it's impossible not to cut each other off.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in the intro, it's always good. Now, do you want me to keep this graphic thing overlay? You're good with that color pencil?
Yeah,
thing?
If you like it, I like it.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
You do you, boo.
I do you, boo. You do you, boo.
Yeah. So here's what's been happening with me. I have not been really attached to the internet lately. So I was like, I'm going to ask Banksy what's been going on, because I imagine that you've been in touch with the internet and stuff way more than me.
Maybe a little. I don't know. It all depends on the sphere of the internet, because like for me, excuse me, I've only been keeping in touch with the regular, like, I don't know, people like Sargon and Tim Pool and those political guys. And then as far as like the drama side is concerned, I don't keep up with too much. I don't know if you keep up with Andy Worski or the.
Oh my God, he's still a thing?
Oh yeah, he's on D Live mostly.
What is that? What is D Live?
D Live is when you want the D.
Come on.
when you're thirsty for the D, that's where you go to get the D. Okay. No, it's just another live streaming service which is a bit less censored than YouTube.
Okay.
And most of the people who've been effectively kicked out of YouTube end up on D Live.
Oh, I see. He got kicked off of YouTube?
Well, no, Worski is still, I think, going. But you see, what happens is YouTube has now stifled, like, totally choked the traffic that goes to like Worski's channel or Sargon's channel. Mm-hmm. So they choke the engagement and artificially sort of, like a cobra trying to, like a python trying to choke the life out of their channel. So that less and less people will go to their channel. But D Live, Twitch, all these other places are still. Twitch is getting a little bit like that. Twitch has already started to appoint a whole kind of health safety team
committee
full of SJ.
Like Twitter did.
Yeah. They've started something like that, and they've appointed a bunch of SJWs to go on it. So so Twitch is starting to go that way.
Okay.
Now. I'm sorry. I just saw. I was reading it. I'm like a cat with a fucking
laser pointer.
I clicked on a tab that I looked at yesterday or the day before, and I was reading out a bunch of gender identities, and one of them was Ghost Vulva.
What?
And I just clicked on a tab where I was searching Ghost Vulva.
What the hell is that?
See what it is. It's just a bullshit thing.
Of course, but oh my God, Ghost Vulva.
But
that's creative, though. We can give it creative points.
It is, but you'll be surprised how much vulva you see on YouTube if you type Ghost Vulva into the YouTube.
Oh my God, wasn't there an artist?
The images are.
Wasn't there an artist in the UK who did like vagina art?
Probably.
That's kind of what that reminds me of. But
that's where that comes from.
That's so fucking funny. Ghost Vulva.
Ghost Vulvas. I personally want to create an account. I want to start a new streaming channel called Ghost Vulva. I'm sure.
GV Thoughts.
Yes, GV Thoughts. I'm sorry. Where was I? Anyway, yeah, the whole thing about YouTube and Twitch and these guys are all becoming very stifled. So people are going to D Live. There's another one called VK. So people are migrating away, and also I don't know if you know, but Joe Rogan signed something
Spotify $100 million deal.
So there you go. So you still have your finger on the pulse.
Yeah, but that's Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is like a separate entity to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's on a different level.
Yeah, Joe Rogan I always have to keep in touch with.
Yeah.
I've been listening to him since he was like sitting on that ratty old gray couch in the basement in his house with Red Band and like from the
Ah,
beginning, right?
you
So
were there. You were there from day one.
yeah, it's really interesting now to look back at Rogan, like, because I've been listening maybe like 10 years or however long it's been out, and
Mm,
like it's crazy to see where he started and where he's at. Like 10 years, he's built an
mhm.
empire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His fucking
Yeah. Yeah.
studio got better every year. His equipment got better all the time.
Of
He just
course.
got better. His guests got better. Everything got better. So it was nice to see.
Mm.
It was like when evolution works correctly in a person, right? When you see them develop and grow, it's just like so cool to see.
It is. But you yourself, I'm sure you have your own evolutionary story of where your mic was and where all your equipment was when you
Oh
first
my God.
started. I started with the microphone that was built into my all-in-one PC, and it
Yeah.
sounded like crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And everybody complained. Anyone who wrote anything complained about my crappy mic.
Yeah.
So then I went and bought a mic for £14, which is, I don't know, $20, and that was a slight improvement, but still crap. I still have that microphone in my cupboard.
Yeah.
And then I moved on to like a Yeti, like yours.
Yeah.
But I broke the Yeti because I decided to move my microphone stand and I didn't unplug it, so it just yanked the cable.
Yeah. You're hilarious.
And yeah, it's just like I and then I tried to solder the Yeti,
Mm-hmm.
which
Wow.
which did not work, and it was a giant failure.
You're so funny.
Made sure that Yeti is never going to be used by anyone
So,
ever.
so did you just save that first $14 mic you were talking about for memories? It's just sitting in a closet for
No,
memory?
yeah, I just shoved it in the closet because I stopped using it because I got the Yeti and Yeti was so much better. And it's just been there ever since. And I suppose it's all right as a backup, but I've got like 3 backup microphones, so I don't really need to. Sorry, this mic. I got to get a new
That
microphone.
one's nice.
Hold
What is
on.
that? I want to get a
Oh, this
Shure.
one. Yeah, this one is a Rode podcaster. The thing with this one, although it's a very good microphone, it weighs a ton as well.
Yeah.
It's really good when you're talking directly into it. I have to be this
Mm-hmm.
close to it for
Yeah.
it to sound good. The minute I turn my head a little bit, and if I don't keep this close to my mouth, it
Mm-hmm.
just loses the sound.
Yeah.
It's a very good mic for podcasting when you're talking into the mic, but the Yeti is a bit better for the all-rounder,
Yeah.
where if you're a little bit of a distance away or you're turning around or you're goofing around, it still picks up the sound. But
Oh,
of
I
course
gotcha.
the Yeti will pick up a little bit more ambient noise as well,
Yes.
because it picks up more sound, whilst this one cuts the ambient almost to zero.
Yeah.
That's why it's good for podcasting. But it's, as I said, if I'm moving around, because I've got monitors on this side, on that side, I'm moving around,
Yeah.
and I notice there are times where it just doesn't pick it up. So it's horses for courses. It's like I think for live streaming, something like the Yeti is better because you can move around and you can, especially if you're playing. Whilst this is good if you're just recording videos and you want to podcast it,
Yeah.
or a podcast where you don't care, you're not looking around, you're not messing about, you're just sitting and just talking straight into the mic. I mean, I've got this on one computer. I've got another one which is like the Yeti, but it was cheaper. It was like half the price.
Yeah.
But it's still a very good mic on my other computer,
Mm-hmm.
and I occasionally do streams off that one. But I can't use, I don't have this whole fancy setup with the green screen and the special effects and all that jazz. It's all.
But you
it's
do
a basic bitch.
whatever you have going on over there is pretty cool. So I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
But
It's
that's
not
what I
that
mean. On
basic.
this computer, on this computer with this mic, but the
Yeah.
other computer with the other mic is just a basic bitch. I'm just I'm just sitting there with like an icon or a little avatar.
All right, so let's get into how have you been dealing with quarantine? What's your situation? What is the situation where you are? Are you guys still on lockdown? What's the deal?
Semi lockdown. Things are getting better. They're telling us you can technically go out with one person from another household, like one person from another household. And you better make sure that that's your favorite person, and you hope that that person is your favorite. They're you're their favorite person as well. Because if you just pick someone from the other household,
Yeah.
and they don't want to go out with you, things are gonna get a little awkward. Like, I'm
A little bit.
sorry, but I kind of don't like you. I never did.
No.
Anyway, but what I will tell you is, I have had my first ever what's it called, virtual date. I've had 3
Oh,
of them
talk to
now.
me about it.
I know. I
Talk
met
to
this
me.
girl. I met this girl online, as in from a dating app.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, say it.
I dived into the cesspool that is Tinder.
Hey, I did too. The second week of being sick. You know why though? Not because I wanted to date, but because I wanted to terrorize men. So I always, within like 5 minutes of getting that app, I have like 30 matches because I'm fucking pretty, right? So that's just life.
Yeah,
And like my first comments to guys are like, so yeah, I don't know if Hitler was entirely wrong.
ooh,
You know,
damn.
like because I was so bored and I just wanted to like have interaction, but I wanted it to be like silly and whatever. And obviously I can just unmatch once I'm done being an asshole, right? It's just fun to see how people react to that shit. Their bios are like, looking for that special someone to have adventures with. And then I'm like, match, hey, so that Hitler guy, right? He kind of had a few good points.
So basically, you troll people on Tinder.
A little.
Tinder trolling.
Just a little, but I did end up meeting someone, and we've hung out a couple times, so.
As in the virtual world or in the real world?
In the real world.
Oh,
we are bad. We are so naughty.
Damn. Yeah, that's what we're planning to. I mean, since we can meet up with one person from a different household, we're planning to actually meet up in the real world next week. So we're that's building up to that. But I mean, we've had 3 virtual dates, as she called it. Yeah, pretty good, pretty awesome actually. I mean, the dates were like, or I don't know, the conversations were like 4-hour, 5-hour long conversations. Like we were like talking forever.
Yeah.
At the point where I was holding in urine for a very long time.
You like her.
Like, look, I don't want to say that I have to go because I have to go, but it's not because of you. It's not you, it's me.
It's my old man bladder.
It's my bladder that I've been holding on to this water for like 4 hours.
That's crazy. So you know what
Could you please?
You know what I learned about myself? I learned about myself that like the reason that I prefer. Where'd you go? Oh, there you go.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I clicked on the wrong
I'm like,
thing.
no, Banksy, please. The reason that I think that I've fallen into long distance relationships in the past is because it forces you to get to know the person first and the physical stuff comes later, because I feel like that shit's distracting, dude. Like as soon as you're able to be physical, you stop caring about the things that actually matter for the longevity of the relationship. And you just kind of focus and get into the whole like honeymoon phase thing. Like it's kind of nice to have the quarantine right now because first of all, you can't justify seeing someone every weekend, right? It's just not okay. Like I want to be a little bit conscious. I've already kind of broken the rules and I'm a little bit in I don't give a fuck mode because I've already been incredibly sick, right? So
yeah.
I'm like, I'm probably fine.
You already got it. You recovered from it.
Yeah.
So, hell, you're not going to get it again. If he gets it, that's on him.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I'm like, yo, we can hang out. Because I want to see you, I want to hang out, right? And I'm like, yeah, we can hang out. But just remember, this is at your own risk. I told my friend Victoria that yesterday, too. She came over to hang out. She's like, I haven't seen you in like 2 months. Like, can we hang out? And I'm like, at your own risk. You are welcome in my home. I love you. You know I'm going to say people first. Because obviously, right? But like... But at your own risk. And it seems to have been...
That's it.
Yeah, and it seems fine right now. And I'm not going to get into any big groups or anything like that. You know, even at work, we're taking precautions. At the office, I'm the only person who's in the office when I'm there. And
oh, yeah. I love those office Instagram clips that you send. The singing and dancing.
Yeah. Oh, it's so fun.
They're the best.
When I'm alone in the warehouse, man, like I try to take advantage of that. I sing in there, dance in there all by myself. Like so many times the guys have just walked in and been like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm performing for an audience. What do you think I'm doing, asshole?
They give you that look like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
So after being sick and shit, right? Like I just feel like I have this whole new energy where I'm like, dude, I could have died in my bed, like couldn't breathe and shit.
Yeah.
So now it's like no holds barred. Amy is at 110% and I just don't care anymore. And people laugh. I don't care. Laugh at me. Laugh with me. Laugh at me. I don't care. Just laugh. Have fun, please. For fuck's sake. Get over your shit and just have fun. Because that's all you got right now. You got to make every little thing count. Every little thing has to be fun. You have to have a good attitude. Have fun.
Yeah. So I know. I mean, I don't want to bring this, make me a downer on this, but I literally have known 2 people now on YouTube, and I don't know them. Like, I know one of them. I met one of them at Speaker's Corner, and the other one is a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Both dead in the last 2 weeks.
Because of Corona?
I don't know if it's Corona related, but the first guy, he was a big, chunky Chad.
Chunky Chad. I love it.
Chunky Chad. Chunky lad.
You said lad. Chunky
I know,
Chad.
I wanted
I
to
said
say lad.
Chunky
I said
Chad.
Chunky Chad.
But that's hilarious. It's better.
Yeah, he was a big lad. He was a big lad, and but a great guy. Like the personality of this man was so nice. Now he was a Muslim. I'm anti-theist and all that. So we had ideological differences, but even though I'm a bit of a dick, my reputation in Speaker's Corner is he's a bit of a dick. But he was still very nice, very polite, very cordial. He was always polite and genuine to everyone at Speaker's Corner. It's just like one of the really nice. No one, everyone that was for or against Islam still liked him. His name was Isa. Apparently, he just had a heart attack. Bam,
Isa?
Gone. His name was Isa. Yeah, he's a big black guy.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a different Esau for a second. I'm like, oh my god,
that
fat fuck died.
There's a lot of Esau.
Whoops, that was rude, but I don't care.
Isa is a pretty popular name amongst a lot of different sort of Muslims, especially. But no, he was. I mean, that's why you got to specify it. But generally, great guy. No one had a bad word to say about him. Everybody, I wonder. That's when I thought to myself, I wonder if I'd passed away, how many? What would they be saying about me?
Yeah, the Speaker's Corner guys would have shit to say about you for sure.
There'll be it won't be a lot of good things. Let's put it that way. They will hate on my ass like you wouldn't believe. I got people who genuinely want to end my life, let alone.
That is so awful.
Let alone have good
Muslims
things to
though.
Say.
Angry, aggressive Muslims who you pissed off because you don't agree with the tenets of their religion.
Well, it's not that I just don't agree. I say a lot of really nasty shit.
Of course.
About their prophet and God and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I do go the extra mile for those guys. But generally, you kind of start to reflect. And there was another guy called Simon Harris, who's also a YouTuber in Spain. Now this guy I never met in my whole life. Never even had a conversation with him. Just followed his videos. Died yesterday. Bam. Gone. And he was literally planning to start making videos, and he was planning streams and stuff with other people a couple of days ago, 2-3 days ago. And for some, I have no idea even why he died. But the problem is, is it COVID? Can this COVID thing trigger something else in you that will then, bam, just knock you out? Or is it just the fact that these people had other issues? Isa was a big guy.
So the highest risk people for any illness is the larger you are, the higher your risk of death if you have anything that's serious like that, right? So that is definitely a contributing factor. I don't know if you've heard much about how the illness has been hitting people. It's very different and it varies depending on the person, obviously. But some people just can't sustain that fucking fever, Banksy. Makes you feel like your brain is boiling in your head. Right?
Yeah,
it's awful. Yeah. And it permanently damages your lungs. The first thing that happened to me when it hit me really hard was breathing. Now, if you're large and you're having breathing issues, all the fat that's on your body is going to compress your lungs further and make it that much more difficult to breathe, because that's what's happening already.
Mm.
And then you have the added pressure from this virus that is just whatever it's doing in your lungs, man, it's
That's
doing
what I
it.
mean. Exactly. I mean, you don't know
Yeah.
what other conditions you have because you think you're okay, but then this thing just triggers that one other problem, which you may have, that is a slight issue, but you're not really aware of. All of a sudden, it quadruples that effect, and then bam, that is the other thing that kills you.
Yeah.
But it could be the underlying issues of the corona, or the corona is what triggers the other effect. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, as far as we know officially, Issa had a heart attack. That's all I know officially. So I can't honestly say anything else.
Yeah.
But like Simon Harris, I still haven't got a clue what underlying issue he had, or even what the cause of his death is. All I know is, like, I know of two individuals on YouTube that have died in less than a month. It's just like what are the odds of you knowing two YouTubers that'll die in the
Yeah,
same
that's
month?
nuts. That's so nuts.
The odds of that in itself is pretty. And this is why, when you were saying, just enjoy it, have a laugh,
You gotta.
yeah, because tomorrow is not promised.
No.
Tomorrow is not promised. You could be gone in a blink of an eye. And so, yeah, enjoy your time, enjoy the time you have with your family.
What are you gonna do, dude? People hold grudges. They have all this fucking shit that they just never get over, and it just constantly holds them back. And I think I said this in one of the videos where I was like sitting in my bed and talking shit, is like, you're never gonna be able to reach out to your future if you are constantly held back by your past. Now,
Yes.
to have your past story is one thing, but to be held back by it is an entirely different thing. And you're not going to be able to. It's like running forward at full speed while looking back over your shoulder and thinking you're going to know where you're going. No, you got to know where you are to know where you're going. And if you're going to keep looking back, you're not going to be able to look ahead. So think about that, right? Like, everybody right now, people are dying, the world is panicking and all this shit. And like, the illness is so fucking horrific. Like, I've never been that sick before. I've never felt anything like that before. And it just it accelerated this value that I hold. Because, you get used to living and you're like, I'm kind of bored of this. This is this. But like, it knocked me back into that zone of like, you have to have gratitude for the little things.
Oh, absolutely.
You just do. Like, the people who are bringing positivity to your life, keep them. The people who you feel any negative or any ill energy towards, just cut it off. Like, life's too short to have negative, especially people. You know what I mean? Your life is going to come with negativity as it is, but you can control who you talk to, who you associate with. And for me, that's made the biggest difference.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. I honestly, I mean, it does, when you see someone like pass away, even you don't really know them, but it kind of highlights or shows you the fragility of your life, and how incredibly fragile we are, and how quickly our little spark is snuffed out in this universe. And so you kind of reflect, like, what are you doing? Who are you spending your time with? What are you, all the grudges, all the anger, all the things that you're holding. I'm not talking about like internet people. I'll be honest. Like, someone in the text is saying Zobida would throw a party. Internet people don't count as far as I'm concerned. People who I'm fighting over the internet, it's just like, to me, it's just like playing video games. I'm not gonna get butthurt because someone shot me.
They're NPCs. They're ghosts.
Yeah, but so people who I'm fighting in that sense, I'm not worried about. I literally, I can have a massive brawl with someone on the internet and go to sleep and get up in the morning and not even remember what their name is. They literally mean that much to me, the people who I war with on the internet. I'm talking about the fight you're having with if you're someone who's not going to go and see your brother because you've had a fight with them for like a past year, or you're not going to go and see your kids because you had a fight with your ex-wife, or you're not going to go see your mom or your dad, or the people that actually matter in your life, and you're holding silly little grudges over silly little arguments. that in the long run literally mean nothing, in the greater sort of scheme
Yeah.
of things. Those are the things you should resolve.
Yeah.
Go and resolve those things. Go
But
and
dude, like
resolve.
internally, people just suck at having relationships with themselves, man. They're in their own way. They prevent themselves from having good relationships and resolving problems and doing things that you should do to evolve as a person. You know what I mean? Like, I don't,
Yeah.
that's just energy I can't be around anymore. Like, if you're cool being around people like that, I can't be around you because I'm still getting streams of that energy from your dumbass. I don't want it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is exactly the other thing. Like just earlier on, just before I started the show, I did a quick stream. I did like a 45-minute stream because I wanted to talk about Adele. Adele, the singer. She lost
Oh
weight.
my God,
She lost
yeah.
like 100 pounds, and the amount of people who are hating on her for losing the weight is unbelievable. It's remarkable
That's
that
because
these
fat
people
people
are
want a
so petty.
spokesperson. You know what I mean? They need a famous person who's. That's why they love Lizzo.
Lizzo is that a is
She's
that,
a
I don't
she's
know.
a BBW, my dear. She's big and fat and kind of gross.
Oh yeah, I see that one.
Right?
Yeah,
So
she's
like
another one.
Adele, I don't even understand the big deal. I'm so detached from celebrity world. So every podcast that I've listened to, they're like, "Oh my God, have you heard Adele got skinny?" And people are mad, and I'm like, who fucking cares? Like, if she wants to be thin, good for her. If she's comfortable in her skin, good for her. But why do people care so much about that? Like, people are mad she lost weight. Oh, you're mad she made a choice to be healthier? Are you
It's
fucking
unbelievable.
insane? No, you just want to feel fine about being a fat cunt.
Yeah, no. What it is that they are comfortable having her in her little box because she being fat makes them feel good about themselves.
Exactly.
Going, well, if Adele looks like that, well, I'm not as big as Adele, or well, I'm about the same size as Adele, so
Yeah,
that should be
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And then she goes ahead and puts in a huge amount of effort. To lose 100 pounds is a
Yeah.
serious amount of effort.
Oh, yeah.
That sort of weight loss doesn't come, easy.
No.
Unless I was saying on my show, unless you got some kind of she got AIDS or something. But I don't want to say that on this show. We do not
That's all
promote
right.
such
No,
language.
you say whatever you like. Whatever
But
you
I
like.
just wanted to say, unless she has some kind of really bad, like degenerative disease, you don't lose weight like that easily. It kicks your ass.
Yeah.
She was probably in the gym like 6, probably even 7 days a week for all I know. So she worked her ass off, literally and figuratively. So that's an accomplishment. Everybody's all quick to applaud Adele. Oh, Adele, well done for that Grammy award and for this award and for that award. Well, you know what? This is her award. This is a personal achievement. She made this herself, and this was for herself. She wasn't for some, there were no Grammy award ceremonies. There were no red carpets to walk on. But every day she'll look in that mirror, and the trophy is the reflection that she sees in that mirror. That's what she sees. It's something she did for herself, and she I bet you it was hard, if not as hard, if not harder than winning a Grammy, to making all those albums. This woman did an amazing thing for herself, and you guys are just hating on her.
Dude,
because
people just don't like it when
she's-
other people succeed. Like, it's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this girl did something that is good for her health. It's objectively good to be thin, not to be thin, but because the more fat you have on your body, the more it says about your poor health, right? Your body's not working optimally if you're storing that much fat.
Exactly.
And it really does just come down to, I don't feel good about myself. Adele is somebody who placates me in the position that I'm in. I don't want to lose weight. Look at her. She's in Hollywood. She's talented.
Exactly.
She's great. I can do it too, right? That's why people like George Bush. If George Bush can be president, any old normal person can be president.
Yes.
Right? It's that mentality of like, well, it's, as long as this is here, I can give myself reasons not to change or improve because there's someone who I think is worse than me.
Yep. And also either worse or is on the same sort of level.
Yeah,
so you're like, I can vicariously live my life through them.
Yes.
So they look like me, and they're still chubby, and but they're winning all these awards, and everybody's praising them, and they'll kind of vicariously live through them because they match their sort of mental image of themselves. Whilst when Adele goes and loses that weight, what happens is they lose that image because they can't now. She's a thin person. They can't really, fully embrace that image.
Yeah.
And so everything now Adele does, everything Adele achieves, well, I'm a fat guy. But this is what's messed up. Why don't you look at Adele if you're a fat person? Yo. Yo.
Yo. You're funny.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But if you're a fat overweight person, if you're someone who's could do with losing weight, look at Adele and go, that is an inspiration to me. I want to do what she did. I want to be like her.
Yes.
Let me try to be more like Adele. Let's find out how she did it, and let me see if I can do some of that. Maybe I can emulate what she did. So why is it it's because it's easier. You see, it's easier to hate on her than to get your ass to go to the gym or go out running or lift weights, because they know that what she did is incredibly hard.
But you know what that is at the end of the day? Her relationship with herself. It's self-love. Loving yourself is the fucking hardest thing to do. Like, as much as I'm not a super fan of, like, just iterating cliches all the time, they're cliches for a reason, right? Like, self-love is the most important. It's also the most difficult. And if you've ever engaged in any activity to increase your relationship quality with yourself, you will understand why it is so difficult to have relationships with other people, man. This is hard. You got to live with this, and then you got to learn to live with another human being. But people are trying to live with other human beings, and they don't even know how to live with themselves, man. So it's like, you're never gonna get there. And like, it's so crazy to me how people look at someone like Adele who's achieved something and want to take that and turn it into a negative, right? Like, why would you not, if you have people in your life that you appreciate or whatever, you appreciate them like throughout their ebbs and flows and challenges and whatever they go through, right? Like, there has to be more than just like, people just seem so fucking obsessed with appearance. If it looks good, it's good enough, right? Like, it's so shallow. Yeah, like, the woman has a beautiful fucking voice. Like, her talent is her voice. Whether she was fat or thin doesn't matter, because she's still going to get up on stage and she's going to fucking own that stage because she's an amazing singer.
Exactly. It's not just that. She is still beautiful. She was beautiful when she was big too. There was nothing wrong with Adele when she was big. And there's nothing wrong with her now that she's lost the weight. Neither times that she's still a beautiful woman, but now she feels much better about herself. She feels healthier about her she probably has a better mental image of herself and a better sense of I don't think she was less confident. I think, but then you don't know what people are like on the inside. She could have a massive stage presence and she's still lacking confidence on the inside. But whatever it is, this achievement is going to boost her confidence personally. Even if she was fully, she was a perfectly confident person before, it will still give her a sense of achievement. Because if you achieve something that is difficult to achieve, if you just climbed a mountain, if you just swam across an ocean, you will feel that sense of achievement, and that automatically gives you endorphin release, and it will make you feel good about yourself. So there's no scenario that I can see that Adele would not feel much better about herself after doing this. Just the accomplishment alone, just the basic that I've made, that I did this, that I accomplished this feat of losing 100 pounds. 100 pounds is a serious amount of weight.
Oh yeah, people are just averse to seeing people succeed for some reason. Because as soon as the news came out that Joe Rogan signed $100 million+ deal with Spotify, people started talking shit about that too. What the fuck? Why Rogan? Blah blah blah. This is why I don't Reddit, right? Like, I'm just like, fuck it. Because for me, I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, I've seen Joe come from his gray ratty couch to $100 million deal with Spotify. If anybody deserves it, it's fucking Rogan, man. And he
deserves every penny and should not apologize for a single one.
Yeah, and he's an atypical personality to be mainstream. You know what I mean? Like, your mainstreamians are like your fucking Fox News crew and your CNN douchebags, right? Not a
Yeah.
Joe Rogan. He really is just like a curious, intelligent, likes to have conversations kind of guy. He's open-minded.
Mm.
That is the kind of influence we need to be able to have discussions with people that we don't necessarily agree with, and learning how to do that gracefully, properly, so that we can actually solve problems in the world. Like, these politicians who are running the show right now, who are just fucking puppets for like people who are paying them money to stay in power to direct this whatever the fuck is going on. These people are like the worst people to watch. They're awful.
Yes.
So they put on a suit and they walk outside and they stand behind a podium and they say a bunch of words, and people are just like so shut off from their frontal lobes, and they're so emotionally compelled because Donald Trump uses the same level words that I do. Yeah, while they're bending you over and fucking you.
Exactly.
Right? Like, people are so easily tricked by stupid shit like that. And then you have like a Joe Rogan who's just, he's just doing his thing, and people just have such a problem with that. It's the truth. People are not comfortable with how fucked up shit is, man. Like, we want things black and white. We want them easy to understand. We do not want to acknowledge that there's nuance. We'll give nuance lip service. Oh yeah, there's nuance. There's nuance. But when you're acting out in the world, you are behaving as if this is a black and white issue. You are not behaving as if you understand that there is nuance. Like, we don't live in black and white. We live on a gradient, mostly in the gray.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. I've been saying that for years.
Yeah.
I've been saying it for years. Most of the 90% of life is in the gray. The world is not, this is my thing. The world is not Lord of the Rings. It's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's complex. It's nuanced. Heroes are not always heroes, and villains are not always villains. It's all, a villain can do a heroic thing, and a hero can be an incredibly cruel and villainous individual because they think the means justify the ends.
Yeah, but people are not
or the
all
ends,
bad
sorry,
or all
justify the
good.
means.
You are what you do.
Exactly.
Sometimes you do good stuff, sometimes you do bad stuff. And honestly, what it is dependent upon is where you are in your life right now and how much you are willing to fuck someone else over to get ahead.
Yes.
If you don't care about relationships and you just want to get ahead, guess what? You're probably going to fuck over a lot of people. And that's fine if that's your prerogative, I guess. Like, do you, sure. But like...
But exactly. I mean, the modern social justice kind of fandom, or the social justice sort of movements should be should show so clearly to everyone that what you think is good, and if you think you're the hero, you are wrong.
Yeah.
You're not always the hero. Quite often, you are the villain, and you think but the villain, or the person that we consider villain, is doing it because he thinks he's doing the right thing. This is why, villains like Thanos became so incredibly. They touched people in such a deep form in these Marvel movies. Although Marvel movies are incredibly shallow and not exactly thought-provoking type of films.
Yeah.
But the character of Thanos made people think, because he is the hero of his story.
Yes.
He is not the villain of his story. To you, he's the villain, but to himself,
Same
he
with
is the
Hitler.
hero of his story.
So I said that to my girlfriend yesterday.
To some extent, yeah.
Well, he did think he was the hero of his story.
Yeah,
Hitler thought he was going to
absolutely.
save the German peoples and like whatever,
Yeah.
right? But like what I said to her is, anybody who has never tasted power can never possibly say that they would not abuse it. If you understand anything about human nature, when you get a little bit of power, you then want more, and you want more control, and you want more power, because it's so fucking intoxicating. So for anybody to be like, if I was the leader, if I was the one who created communism, I would have done it better. That's the exact mentality that got those people there, that got everything fucked up.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's
So like
exactly it.
understand your humanity, dude. Like understand that like if you were someone, this regular old person who suddenly came into some power one day, you would be a fuck.
That's
And
exactly
don't
what
think you
Jordan
wouldn't.
Peterson said.
Yeah, you would. Like you just have to understand this part of our nature, right? Like I can admit fully that like if I was given power to run shit, I would be cunty and I would have a power trip and I would fucking roll with it. I just would.
Yes. Yes. This is exactly what I said. Jordan Peterson said that in one of his speeches. He said, people talk about like, oh, if I was that soldier in that World War II concentration camp, oh, I wouldn't do that. No, no, you would do the same too.
Yeah, yeah.
You would do the same. You think you're so much better? You're not. If you
Yeah.
think you're better, you're not. You would, if you found yourself in that particular scenario, in at that time in that world, you would do exactly what these other
Yeah.
soldiers did,
The
even
environment
though.
conditions you, not the other way
Yeah.
around.
Oh, it's far. At least it takes an incredible will to go against that level of social and environmental pressure. This is why we praise heroes and presidents and certain individual kings and knights. This is why historically human beings have praised these individuals, because they did something under extreme pressure. They still did the right thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy for them to go out and to achieve whatever it was that they achieved, but despite all the sort of hurdles, or despite everything against them, they went out and they did it. And especially those that we make legends out of, like, I don't know, Robin Hood or King Arthur, is because they did the right thing in spite of the world being so cruel and mean.
Yeah.
And in spite of the world telling them by being cruel and mean, you would still, you would achieve. Because cruelty, in these sort of caricature Marvel villains and heroes that we have, or just not Marvel but movie
Yeah.
villains and heroes we have, that's not the real world. In the
No.
real world, the mafia wins. In the real world, Genghis Khan achieves the largest empire ever known to mankind. That's the real world.
Yeah.
By raping and pillaging and killing and slaughtering, you can achieve greatness. You can achieve a level of greatness in which they'll write songs and books about.
Yeah.
That's the real world. The real world, that happens. Genghis Khan, Attila the Hun, Caligula, they come about. They exist.
Yeah.
And they achieve, all the wealth, all the power, and they die, never ever being punished for it. Never ever. Caligula, Genghis Khan was never ever, even one moment in his life, felt that he was being punished for the things that he did.
Yeah.
He did it, and he died of old age. Now, Hitler, you can say, okay, Hitler got his dues because he found himself in a position where the world was about to, basically, the world did tear his empire or his country apart, and so he felt he had to commit suicide. He in fact took the coward's way out. Instead of facing up to his crimes, he killed himself to get out of it. But he did recognize that the rest of the world didn't want, and the rest of the world were not on his side, and they came for him. Genghis Khan never had that.
No way.
He died at ripe old age, lived probably a perfectly fine life after all the rape, all the pillaging, and millions of other tyrants and warlords have come and gone over the human history, where they never got punished, never saw a day's punishment over their crimes.
Yeah.
Because that's the world. The world is a horrific place sometimes, and the good guy doesn't always win, and the bad guy sometimes just walks away with the whole thing.
Yeah,
and that
we, like, our lives and what we see around us, like, this is a probabilistic fucking magic trick, right? Because where there's chaos, order is just going to emerge just by probability. That's what the universe is. That's what our existence is. And everything operates under all these crazy physical laws that we often, like, they just go over our head because we're so caught up in our own fucking consciousness and our own shit and what's happening. But we forget, like, our origins are chaotic. You know what I mean? Like, all this shit is just particles trying to figure shit out. They're all just slamming into each other, and guess what? People got made. And shit's still slamming into each other. Look at people. We're clashing. Everything is just like circular, concentric fucking circles. It's a circle within a circle within a circle of the same processes running again and again and again. You better fucking get meditative with that hamster wheel, bitch, because this is our life, man. Like, look
Yeah.
how much this
Yeah.
COVID shit has just fucking totally altered the world. People are like freaked out and shit because like we've gotten so clicked into this idea that everything is constant, everything is safe, survival has become so fucking easy. We think that we are separate from all the things that are occurring in nature. You know what I mean? And then nature comes and it's like, hey, bitches, I just wanted to remind you that I make viruses. Have fun. Okay, bye.
Okay,
And
bye.
okay, bye. And then the world is just like, oh my god, it's fake. It's not real. It's manufactured by the Chinese. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, no, asshole, these things exist. Like, just wait as the planet fucking heats up, and then all the bacteria that is just like living in those icebergs and all that icy shit, when it melts and when the sea level starts rising and it starts crawling onto the fucking shores of our fucking nice cushy lives, then we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta again, it comes back to just have fun right now, enjoy your life, do whatever you're gonna do that's gonna make you happy. Like, what have you been doing to keep yourself sane during this?
Well, I mean, for me, I've got other projects and work and stuff that I'm doing anyway, and I'm actually I've got so much stuff that I should be doing that I'm actually not doing. That every time I actually think about, I don't have time to get bored. I literally, if I'm bored, then I'm procrastinating, and I'm not actually doing half the things that I should be doing, because I actually have a whole host of different things and ideas that also, like me and my brother were talking about business ideas and different sort of ideas in regards to potential IT projects, websites, things like that. Now I should actually be researching, or I should be, developing something, or I should be making more videos. Or I mean, another friend of mine keeps pestering me saying, dude, why don't you take your 3-hour streams and cut them up into bite sizes and put them there? I should be doing all of these things. There is literally not a day that goes by that I should not be doing something. Now, if I'm not doing it, that's because I'm procrastinating.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean there isn't things there to do. There's plenty of things there to do.
Yeah.
And this is why I don't understand when people say, I'm bored.
Yeah, me neither. I don't get it. So I'm going to go on a rant here for a minute, okay? So you've probably noticed, because you actually watched the channel, that I haven't been posting any podcasts or thoughtcasts or anything. What I'm doing now is when I wake up in the morning, instead of podcasting, the first thing I'm doing is watching a music tutorial. I'm learning how to use Fruity Loops and make music and mix and do all that stuff, right? So it requires that I invest the time. So now the Thoughtcast has kind of gotten a bit of the back burner vibe, and like, I just want to learn to play with music and like make music. I have a good ear for it. I can sing, and I just want to be able to put that shit into practice. You know what I mean? Like, I want to record my own vocals. I want to create my own music. So that's what I've been doing. Yeah, and it takes a long time. And like, you know how you were saying, like, you gotta get over that hump. Like, oh my God, there are just so many points where I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this? This is awful. I suck. I'm so shit. I don't want to do this. I'm never gonna, like, I'm not even trying to be some kind of like big ass DJ or anything. I just want to be able to do it. So
just be competent about it.
Yeah.
Just feel like, yes, I can just get on this thing, make some cool track, and I feel good about it.
Yeah. It's like so fun.
I nailed it.
When I lay down a melody on a track, I'm like, that's so cool. Like, my brain came up with that. You know what I mean? It's neat. Yep. And I'm going to add drums, and I'm going to add this, and I'm going to add this weird effect or whatever. And like, it's just so much fun. I've been reading more. I've been trying to like spend time doing things that are going to enrich me. Can't you tell by this unbridled confidence that I fucking have all of a sudden? Like, doing things that you love and like having hobbies, and like, I'm with you. I don't understand the complaint of I'm bored. No, you're just not creative. You are boring. You don't even want to explore anything to get rid of that I'm bored feeling. Try something different, bro. Like,
exactly.
Why are you sitting here saying I'm bored? The world is your oyster. You have a fucking computer. You can do anything.
Well, that's exactly it. I've been trying to get actually other people, because I've got Speaker's Corner friends, and because Speaker's Corner is is shut down for now. They're
Yeah.
all trying to start up their own YouTube channels. They're all trying to start up, have conversations online, and now they're all getting caught up in how do I do this?
Mm-hmm.
And I keep telling them all, okay, not all their computers, because not all of them have high-end computers to run Streamlabs, but
Mm-hmm.
OBS Studio is much lighter, much less memory intensive than Streamlabs. And I told them, guys, I can talk you through this. I literally talked my friend. I can't mention her now. I'll give you her name. I think you and her will get on like a house on fire, because she's just like you. She's great. I've
Oh,
known her
good.
for 22 years now, and
Oh,
from university. I've known her a long time. But I got her to set up a YouTube channel, and she is now running her own YouTube channel. I walked her through. I'm still walking her through
that's
it,
so
through some things,
awesome.
but yeah, but she's now started up her YouTube channel, and she's starting to make videos. It almost like sparked a whole new avenue of adventure for her. This is like a new
Yeah.
adventure. She bought a ring light. I told her initially, just make videos on your mobile phone.
Yeah.
Just put your mobile phone, get a ring light, a cheap, but I mean, actually, the ring light turned out to be really good, but it was quite cheap. Get a little lapel mic, and then just get on it.
Yeah.
Now she started to she created a few videos like that. Then she's decided she wants to do interviews. So she's now
Ooh.
doing interviews with some colleagues of hers,
Mm-hmm.
and but she needs a bit more equipment, because the microphone the lapel mic doesn't work very well on her Apple Mac,
Mm-hmm.
because she can, the Apples, they don't have a headset and a microphone. They've just got the one dual one, like the phones. And so
Yeah.
when she puts the lapel mic in there, she can't hear anything
Mm.
because the lapel mic takes over. I
Yeah.
said, look, this equipment that I recommended for you was for the mobile phone. Now you need to get like a USB mic, and I gave her some recommendations on that. And now she's purchasing little bits of equipment. She's
Mm-hmm.
setting it up. She's getting the Zoom ready done. I kept telling her about like sound quality. Anyway, I've opened up this Pandora's box of exciting
Yeah.
adventures of the internet, and she's loving it, because she's
It's
making
so
videos. She's
fun,
learning how to
man.
yeah,
It's
she's learning
so
how to
fun.
edit. I'm sending her little clips about how to do chroma keying, and so she can create little like intros and outros for herself. I created some outros for her,
So
so
cute.
she's using them. Uh,
That's
but
so
yeah,
cute.
that's a whole new source of sort of hobby and things to do. And she's a single mom, so she doesn't have that much time. She's already very
Yeah.
busy.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, she said, I can't, I'm loving this. Every day is something new. It's exciting. I have to
Yeah.
go and research what next video I want to make. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a world of pain in the ass for me. They say a friend in need is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It's because she's like calling me. I'm holding team viewer meetings with her, and I'm trying to fix these issues that she has. But it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay, because Anthony Robbins, the
Tony
sort of life
Robbins?
coach guy, Tony
Yes.
Robbins.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says one of his rules is be an Indian giver. That is, when you give, you will be surprised how much you get in return
Yeah, yeah.
through quantitative and unquantitative rewards. And so
Yeah,
he
it's nice
always
when someone
encourages.
listens, right? Like when you give them advice or you're like giving them some kind of idea or providing them with some
Mm,
sort of direction. You know what I mean? It
yes,
feels so good. Like I love it
absolutely.
when I suggest something and I don't expect anybody to listen, but when they do, dog, it feels so good. And then they come to you and they're like, you were right about this. I did this for a while and now it's working for me. And like, thank you. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, this is what the
Yeah,
human experience is about. Help each other, make suggestions, have the guts to be like, yo, maybe you should fucking try this, or maybe what you're doing is fucking wrong. Because you could really save someone a lot of time and hassle. And if they still want to do it, do it. Don't be attached to what they do. But put the idea, plant the seed in their mind of like, yo, I've noticed this, this, and this about you. Why don't you try this? You might like this, 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 this. And if you need help,
yes,
I'm here. And then it is so rewarding. it's nice
Absolutely.
to be a student, and it's also nice to be a teacher, and like you got to do both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
Oh, yeah.
gotta.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, just helping the people in your life to do something that brings them excitement, joy. It
Mm-hmm.
opens up a whole new avenue of things that they never even thought about.
Yeah.
And watching them kind of like almost like an acorn, and I'm kind of keeping an eye. It's almost like her YouTube channel is my little baby now, and I'm
Yeah.
watching her YouTube channel sort of grow, and gain. I mean, she's still tiny. She's only done like 4 videos, but the next videos hopefully be out in the next day or so. And I keep encouraging her because I know it's a pain in the ass editing videos and doing this and doing that. But as I said, I can see her little acorn grow, and to be honest with you, I think her potential is huge because
Mm-hmm.
she's a very attractive girl, which always helps
Oh
on
yeah.
YouTube.
Oh yeah.
And she's got some great stuff. I don't want to go into it because that will reveal, and I don't want the Banksy name to taint her channel.
Yeah. 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 Oh my God, you're so sweet.
Because I do a lot. I mean, she's putting her real name and everything out there, so it's not like she's doing this for real.
Yeah.
And I'm a somewhat of a tainted tainted brand here.
You're a dick. Remember, you're a dick.
Yeah, I don't want my haters to go over and give her shit. So that's why I'm not promoting her in a public way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just promoting her in a private way to like people like you and others that I
Yeah, I'm
kind of
gonna.
know.
Did you sent me that channel? I think I see it in the DM,
Yeah,
so I'll
yeah, I
make sure
saw
I'll
the
check it
I
out.
saw the link. But yeah, so that's why I can't I don't want to be associated in a public way with
Fair,
at least the
fair.
Banksy name,
Mm-hmm.
because I say she's
And you're a
lovely.
dick,
She's
remember?
Yeah, I'm an internet dick. Yeah, I'm a giant douche on the internet. So
I'm a
I
giant
can't.
douche, she says.
No, but it's true. I mean, I've never shied away from this. I always say there are two kinds of people back before the internet that could be a giant douche and get away with it.
Hmm.
It was in back before the internet. Only the very rich or the very old could be absolute assholes,
Yeah.
and no one would give them any shit, because the rich people would be kissing their ass, and the very old just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, they could be dead tomorrow. It's like they have no more fucks to give.
Yep.
So the very old and the very rich were always like assholes, or just told the brutal truth in a very assholic way.
Yeah.
But since the advent of the internet and the anonymity the internet brings, we can all be the asshole we always wanted to be, but
Dude,
couldn't
that
afford
is
to be.
just some bitch ass shit, man. Like, I have these accounts, suspicious accounts, that come to me continuously and just say random shit, and it just makes me laugh, right? Because I'm like, dude, you're taking time out of your day to come to me. Like, you're calling me a pussy and a meth head, and you're this and you're that, and all I can think is like, you fucking weak bitch. You're coming up on my comments. By the way, I'm a like nothing channel, number 1, okay? And you're coming to me and you're calling me a fucking meth head. Why? You're perpetuating some fucked up message here. Who are you? This is somebody,
Exactly.
in my estimation, who has a grudge, who is using a sock account to come at me with dumb shit, because they have been for quite some time. And it's just like, where does it stop?
I've seen it. I've seen some of your replies to these douchebags. Like, thank you for taking the time to putting this douchery comment
Yeah.
into my
I mean,
comment
I'm
box.
like, hey, I really appreciate you taking the time to insult me instead of complimenting your girlfriend.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. But I mean, it's the internet, people.
I
don't,
know, I
you know,
know.
they literally
But
are
here's
not
the
even a
thing,
blip on my
Banksy.
fucking radar.
Here's the thing, though. The way that people act when they have anonymity, which is a form of power, to be able to act in the world without consequence is a huge aspect of power. Now, it speaks greater volumes to the psychological state of these people than anything, because you're such a cunt. First of all, you probably don't have friends. Second of all, the reason you act like this on the internet is because in real life, if you talk to somebody like this, bitch, you get fucking clipped. So don't come up here and act like you're tough shit and you're this and you're that when first of all, if you're a dude and you're going after chicks on the internet, sorry you can't get laid, bro. Maybe you should figure your shit out so someone will actually want to fuck you. But guess what? Nobody wants to let you in their body, and you're fucking spending your time rotting on the internet and sharing that mold and rot with other people, because that is the energy you want to put out into the world. I don't distinguish anymore. How you act on the internet is a part of who you are. You don't just get to disconnect yourself from that because it's the internet. You know what I mean? It's good to have the
Yeah.
understanding that you are still saying shit, whether you use a moniker or whatever, right? Like, it's still you. It's still you.
Oh yeah, you're still the douchebag. I mean, this is the thing. Actually, my friend who I helped her set up the site, I said to her, look, I have some YouTube channels, and this is one of them. I gave her the Banksy channel, and she's like, I really like your persona, effectively.
Yeah.
And the Banksy is a persona. I'm not going to say that it is me outside.
It is an aspect of you.
It
It's
is,
an
yes,
aspect
it is
of
an
you.
aspect of me, and I'm extra assholic, if that's such a word.
But you
I'm
still
an
put your
extra bit of
face out.
asshole.
It's a little different when your face is out. Whether you're wearing glasses or not, you're still camming up. We still know that this voice and this opinion is coming from this person, right? Your face is there. But there are these people
I mean,
with their faggoty ass anime icons going to talk shit, and it's like, how do you even think that you're going to come up here and try and talk shit, you retard? Like, are you fucking
Yeah.
serious?
yeah, but that's the thing. Like in real life, I'm a little bit. I'm far more reserved, and I keep my opinions to myself far more than I do on the internet. The internet is where I let the beast loose. It's
Yeah.
not that it's different. It's not a different side of me. It's just a side of me that I know that I can't just constantly allow to be loose. I can't let the
And the
beast
internet
loose in
is a
real
great
life.
outlet for that, because obviously
Exactly.
people have those impulses. You want to argue, you want to do those things. We want to engage in battle. But the thing is, again, Banksy, like, aspect of your personality or not, you're still putting your face out there. So it's a little bit different. It exempts you from the rules of anonymity when your face is out there.
Yeah.
Whether
that's
you have
true.
a fake name or not, your face is still out there. You still have the gall to come
That
out with
is
your
true.
fucking face. That's very difficult to not respect. Doesn't matter. But if you're hiding behind a fucking avatar, or you're hiding behind a fucking mascot and you're talking shit, you ain't shit to me, dude.
Yeah, that's even
Fuck
worse.
off. Yeah, fuck off with that shit, man.
I mean, yeah, this is why one of the guys at Speaker's Corner, his name is Leon. He runs content over everything. He actually one time said to me, I rate the fact that you come out here with your face, put yourself out, but you still say these things that you say
Yeah.
and you're literally putting yourself in front of the camera too. You're no
Yeah.
longer you're not some hidden shadowy figure
Right,
with some
right.
avatar, some pussy ass little avatar, and saying this shit. It does take an extra step of I guess courage, if you will,
Yes.
to still say the things openly,
Yeah.
and put yourself in front of the camera, or even put yourself out. I mean, Speaker's Corner, once I went to Speaker's Corner, I knew my anonymity was not going to last, because I don't just go to, because there are some people who are still, like, even the Leon I'm talking about, he still puts himself behind the camera. He's the cameraman. He's not the front guy. But even though he doesn't like to be on camera, there are plenty of footage of other people recording and catching Leon in the video.
Yeah.
So Leon's face is known to people, but he himself still says, I'm just a camera guy. I'm just gonna record what's happening, and I just publish what's going on in front of me. I don't have an opinion on these things. And so he tries to keep himself out of the opinion game. I was never that character. I had plenty of opinions before I went to Speaker's Corner. I put my opinions out there long before I went to Speaker's Corner. My show is an opinion show. I put my opinions out there. The whole purpose of my show is for me to put my opinions, and with a tint of comedy, out there. So I was never gonna be I was never, my anonymity was gonna go very quickly after I went to Speaker's Corner. I knew that, because I was going to give my opinion. It was going to be virtually impossible to keep my big mouth shut and not put my opinion out there. So yeah, I accepted the consequences of those things. So I fully accept the consequences of putting my face on the internet. and giving my opinions on the internet, because ultimately that's it. You have to at one point in your life, you have the courage, you have to have the courage of your convictions, and you
Hell
have to
yeah.
finally draw a line and say, this is who I am, this is my
Yeah.
opinion, and I don't give a fuck.
In yo fucking face. That's my motto, man. In your
Yeah,
face. I
yeah,
don't care anymore. Like, I don't want to feel restricted by other people's fucking bullshit or whatever. Like, sometimes you just got to be a pioneer and do it on your own too, you know what I mean? And it is like,
yeah.
I know you said courage, and it seemed like you said it a little bit apprehensively, but like in this climate where like 98 per fucking cent of people are hiding behind an avatar, yes, it is a revolutionary act to show your face and fucking speak your mind, knowing you're opening yourself up to being
Mhm.
berated and have shit talked and whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
It's not even that. I mean, if you're going to Speaker's Corner on a regular basis, you're actually physically putting yourself in harm's way as well, because people have been physically attacked.
yeah.
Because people know you're going to be at this place on this day, so you're actually physically also putting yourself out a little bit.
Yeah.
Although it's still relatively safer than
Oh,
most
IRL?
other places.
Yeah.
Yeah, in real life,
Oh yeah,
absolutely. In
for
real life,
sure.
people have been attacked for their opinions at Speaker's Corner. I myself have actually been physically assaulted.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that the assault was literally nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, it has taken its step beyond that. I mean, there was a guy called Sarah Garvey who used to go to Speaker's Corner very regularly. He literally had an official death threat that the police took seriously. It's called an Osmond warning in Britain, and it was a legitimate death threat,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why he had to stop going to Speaker's Corner, because he said there will be a scenario, eventually there would have come a scenario in which I would get caught up in some kind of altercation,
Mm-hmm.
physical altercation, and whether I win or lose that physical fight, you will lose the war, because you will end up in jail. You can beat up a man and kill him, and you're still going to go to jail.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
beat up a man and win, even though that man was trying to kill you with a knife. You can still beat him up, and you'll still go to jail in this country, because even self-defense has great deal of limits to it in this
Mm-hmm.
country. So yeah, unfortunately, he said, look, I had to make a decision for my wife, for my kids, and I had to take myself out of that environment. And he
Yeah.
did. He stopped going to Speaker's Corner because he was threatened, death threats. And that's the reality of Speaker's Corner. That's the reality of putting yourself out there. But
Yep.
again, you have to have some level. I'm not saying I'm courageous in any shape or form, but I have the courage of my conviction
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
I will say the things I say online, and I will say it at Speaker's Corner, and I will say it, and I will put my face to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only level. Not in any way suggesting that is some heroic Hercules
No, but I know what you
action.
mean,
It
right?
is just
I know what you mean.
simply that I have that much conviction of the things that I say. I believe in the things that I say to be true or to be correct from my perspective. Now, I have no problem being proven to be wrong.
I was
It's
just gonna
just
say
I
that.
have that.
Like,
Yeah,
put
absolutely.
yourself out there, but at the same time, dude, you have to be open to being wrong, because you're not like, I'm not a perfect being. You're not a perfect being. My ideas are probably a little
Of
fucked
course.
up. Your ideas are fucked up. Like, there's just aspects of our ideas that are not going to fall in line. And like, human beings are kind of contradictory creatures. Like, we hold
Yep.
so many hypocritical views and ideas. So like, when people argue and stuff, right? And it's like, oh, you're a fucking hypocrite, you're this, and it's like, yeah, probably. Like,
Yeah.
my brain is like split into different segments, and then all those thoughts try to come together into like a singular unifying thought, a singularity, if you will, and it fails because like different parts of your brain experience different things, and like it buffers into one thing, and it's a confusing mess sometimes. That's okay though. You just have to
Absolutely.
be
It's okay.
cool with that, man. Just be cool with how your brain works, and then we can get past all the petty dumb shit, and we might actually have a really interesting, robust, fun, intelligent conversation about something that matters, instead of getting caught up in
Absolutely.
your stupid ass like, fuck you, you're a bitch, you're like the first thing people do in a conversation like that is like start making fun of how you look, that low-hanging fruit shit. That's your failure to be in the fucking conversation and engage honestly, in good faith.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, being wrong. This is one of the greatest lessons I think I've learned in my life, and it was a lesson that unfortunately my parents were not wise enough to teach me.
Mm-hmm.
To fail or to be wrong is absolutely fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, the problem is nothing, if you don't teach this to your children, nothing in the system that we have actually teaches them that.
No.
Because in school, if you fail a test, it's like the end of the freaking world.
Mm-hmm.
If you fail this exam, if you fail this quiz, if you fail this, it's like your whole world is going to collapse around you. That you only get one shot or two chances at best to pass a particular test or pass a particular thing. That is not the real world. The real world, you can fail 1,000 times, but succeed on the 1,001 time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real world. People in the real world, successful people in the real world, fail far more than they succeed. Everybody thinks Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player in the world,
Yeah,
not
what's
because he
up, Michael
scored every basket.
Jordan?
Sorry?
I just bought 3 Jordan hoodies because I've been watching The Last Dance, and you know
There
what?
you go.
Like, sorry, just as an aside, but like my entire childhood was Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. 93 to 98, the golden years, that was my shit. What happened is because my stepdad and my mom and all that shit was so traumatic, all the good childhood memories got tossed into the bin with all the fucking traumatic ones. Because like
Yeah.
Michael Jordan was what me and my stepdad bonded over. So like I'm watching this documentary and it's just like reawakening all these memories, and I'm like, holy fuck, like I can't believe I was just sitting there crying like, oh my god, I forgot so much of my childhood because my parents are such assholes. But yeah, like Michael Jordan was also like obsessed with winning. Like
Yeah.
he did not take mistakes very well, you know, like a lot of the teammates said like he was rough, but it's also because he knew the level he was at and he wanted to lift the rest of the team to his level so they could perform, and they fucking did. 6 championships, bruh.
Yeah. But the thing is, I can understand how you would, if you're a person who is killing yourself, you day and night practicing to win, and then you're let down by one of the guys in the team who doesn't give a shit. That could drive you insane because you're like, look, I'm killing myself
Yeah.
practicing day and night, and you lazy asshole are the weak link in my team, and you're letting everyone down because I have to depend on your dumbass to also do your part. So if you're in a team situation and you're dependent on them, then yeah, I can understand why someone like Michael Jordan, because if he was an athlete and if he was 100, Usain Bolt, you're on your own. You can do that shit by yourself. You don't need anyone else to win a 100-meter race.
Yeah.
That is on you,
Yeah.
100% on you.
Yeah.
If you're doing, all of these other sort of singular sports, golf or singles tennis, you're not dependent on anyone else.
Right.
It's all on you. You get the benefits of your own hard work.
Right.
Unfortunately, basketball, football, American football, all of these other types of sports, hockey, these are team sports. So you can kill yourself. You can practice day and night, and the asshole on the other, on your team could screw it all up for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that must be incredibly frustrating for someone,
especially when
who's-
you're like a super high achiever, man.
exactly.
Jordan is a
exactly.
super high achiever, and like people like that are so rare, dude. Like he was around during a time where there was no social media, and he shook the globe, dude. People were traveling from fucking China, Taiwan to see Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And like I
exactly.
forgot, like until I watched this, I totally forgot how much of an impact that man had everywhere because of his attitude and like how he presented himself, how he treated people when he was out and shit. Like people like that are, they're not as like, I don't know, social media has kind of taken away impact. You know what I mean? Like there used to be people who were able to make an impact in such a strong way, and they did it without a Twitter. You know what I mean? Like that is a huge accomplishment. It's not that it's not that like enchanting now when there's some celebrity spouting some dumb shit because there's 30 other celebrities doing that.
Yeah,
You know
but
what
it's
I
not
mean?
just that. It's the fact that your attention is because we're in an attention economy. Your attention is being pulled in 10 different directions at any given time, especially if you're a social media person like us, because we're content creators. Whether we're big content creators or small content creators, we're still content creators. We're still are effectively in our tiny little bubble of the corner of the internet, are mini celebs in our own sort of right, in this tiny way. I mean, I don't want to exaggerate it. Don't ever go around claiming that Banksy said, oh, he's a celebrity now.
I need to
I'm
turn
talking
off an alarm,
w-
Banksy. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 sec.
oh, no worries.
What the fuck? Why?
Okay, I'm gonna carry on. So yeah, that happened.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't even know the other phone had an alarm set on it.
Oh, righty then. Banksy sing a song.
Did you see what
Manny
Manny
wants
said?
to-
He said, "You have the coolest voice ever. Can you say my name in your voice so I can record it? It's on my bucket list." Of course I will. Manny! But you have to tell me how you want me to say it, because that's, I don't know.
Sorry, your mic just cut out as you said Manny.
Manny! Manny! Oh, Manny! See,
There you go.
It's the little things, right? Like, that shit's so cute.
is the little
Can you just say
things.
my name because I like your voice? I'm like, oh, stop it. Stop. That's so sweet.
Now they want us to sing a song. Yeah, okay. Perform for me, little monkey boy. Dance,
Monkey,
fat man.
dance.
Dance while I shoot bullets at your feet.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so, like these social media really has changed the landscape of how we communicate. I think that right now it's for the worse. It's not for the better. As much as the internet provides the illusion of connectivity, human beings are not as connected. They're just not. They're not conversing. They're not learning to deal with problems. All their emotions are just channeled through this instant gratification outlet of Facebook or Twitter. And I think it's just not a healthy way to manage yourself emotionally. Like being away from the internet is the best thing. The best decision I've made in my recent life. I like it. I'll do it when I want to, right?
It's true.
And like, I think it's because I tend to be a lot more sensitive to change and things. And like, I also have like a million other things I want to do because I'm super ADD and I can't,
Well, the internet actually encourages all that ADD sort of, actions because, again, as I said, we're in an attention economy.
Yep.
And constantly there's 10 different things pulling you in all different directions trying to get your attention. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Oh, I'm on Twitter. Oh, I'm on Facebook. Oh, I'm on Instagram. Look at me, look at me, look at me. And us as content creators are kind of caught up in that whirlwind where we're telling other people, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm trying to get other people's attention towards me as well.
Here's the other thing too, is like attention itself is like, people don't care if they're getting good or bad attention. They just want attention, right? So it's like, I have a fucking million followers. Yeah, but your million followers might be fucking piece of shit assholes. So what does that say about you? Like,
or your million followers are following you because you're a piece of shit asshole.
Yeah, how fucked is that?
Yeah,
like, this is what's encouraged, right? And we like to see, like, people like to watch people breaking down and falling apart. It's super boring to talk or listen to somebody who's well adjusted, unless they're a Rogan, you know what I mean? Like, people like that fucking drama shit.
Yeah, but Rogan, if you look at Rogan's even stuff, how many millions? I think it was like 7 million views or more of his Alex Jones interview versus all his other interviews with all these really intelligent, highbrow people.
You're right.
Because people still want to watch a train wreck.
Yep.
They still want to watch a train
but
wreck.
I can't.
Joe Rogan
like,
isn't a train wreck.
Don't you find that shit influences you, though? Like, sometimes I'm like, you know what? If I just fucking lost my shit, That would probably make people listen. Not that I fucking care if people listen, but I think about that, right? Like you look at people on the internet, you see that, like for me, I see the kind of girls who get attention and what they need to do. Like I've never particularly been into the idea of like, I want to whore myself out for attention. Because it's fucking easy, bro. Like as a girl, if I want to get on Chatterbait or MyFreeCams or whatever the fuck there is in
Chatterbait! Oh my god, I know what that is!
Yeah. Like there is just so much attention waiting for me that I could get. But like I have an understanding of like the quality of attention I'm getting. I don't care if I have one listener. You know what I mean? Like if you vibe with me, that's what I care about. I'm actually trying to connect, you see? And like it's much harder to do because most people running around on the internet are just fucking disconnected psychopaths trying to fucking deal with the world and very poorly adapting to the fucking reality around them.
Yeah, this is the problem. Like, don't get me wrong, I like it when my videos get tens of thousands of views or so, and I used to get videos that were getting that kind of ratios. Unfortunately, I'm being throttled by we all are by YouTube. So once we get the scarlet letter of death, then nothing comes of it. But don't get me wrong, the ego definitely gets a hit when you have a few thousand.
If you have a bad relationship with your ego, it takes a hit.
Yeah, but no, I think on a subconscious, even on a very low level, your ego gets a little.
But I don't feel that, Banksy. Like,
am
am I just a sociopath? Because I swear to God, I could not give less of a fuck.
I suppose I don't know.
I wanted to. I would like to believe you, but if the story that I've told myself is so effective that like, no matter what people fucking say to me online here, I just don't care. It doesn't affect me. I'll look at a comment and be like, ha! And then I'll move on with my day.
No, not the comments. I'm not so worried about the comments.
Or the views or whatever, you know?
Views. Yeah, but that's the thing though. I have to be honest. It does give me a little like, endorphin shot, but it's not enough because I can then ascertain the pattern of videos that I can make. I mean, I know a friend of mine. Well, it's not a friend of mine. Someone I know from a different online chat program. Mm-hmm. And this guy, he's a homosexual chap, but he's kind of a Muslim. He's a very quirky character. Mm-hmm. Now he created a YouTube channel, I think actually before or just before I started uploading on mine. Now he's into the 40,000 subscriber figures, but he, and maybe more, maybe he's past 50 now. But he does nothing but conspiracy theory shit. He does all of the conspiracy theories, how the House of Saud is involved with the mullahs of Iran and with this and that, and the Americans and and Israel. And he's constantly conspiracy theory videos. And he is getting a ton of attention for that. They love that shit.
Oh, yeah, they love that shit. They love that shit.
But the thing is, I was like, I want to be successful, but I don't. This is the kind of shit that I don't believe in. This will be the most disingenuous crap that I would ever put forward. I couldn't bring myself to put this kind of disingenuous shit and try to connect all these different connections, these nefarious sort of things. I just can't do it. It's not me.
No.
So I know what would attract people to my channel, but I can't bring myself to put that crap out. I
do not give a fuck what the audience wants. That is because I'm not here to attract an audience. I'm here for me. I want to do what I find fun. You want to come along, bro? Come along. You don't want to? Exactly. That's cool too. But I'm not putting out shit that makes me feel like I have to get out of Amy. When it's just, that's not going to make me feel good. That's not rewarding to me. I want to be me. You don't like it? That's okay with me. Because I have an abrasive personality. I understand there are things about me that people find super annoying, like I often will get things like, you're fucking too confident. I'm still getting comments on my vegan gains video. It's been 2 fucking years. And obviously people are bored in quarantine because they're watching it and they're like, fuck you muted his mic, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, I fucking didn't, but I don't care. I'm not gonna, it's 2 years later. People are messaging me on Instagram and they're like, you fucking lost against Richard, you dumb bitch. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I forgot about that. That was like 2 years ago. It's so funny. It's so funny to me. And I totally forgot my point. Oh, yeah, the confidence thing. Oh, this bitch has too much confidence. This bitch too much this. This bitch too much that. Fuck you. Maybe you just don't have enough confidence, man. Maybe you haven't done enough to feel good about what you've done in your life. Therefore, you have to go around and you got to tear people down. Why? Because you need to make yourself feel better. That is ultimately what you're doing when you're going to talk shit to someone and just tear them down. And you think you know them as a person because you saw them on one fucking conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't be attached to any of that shit at all. It's just gonna fuck you up. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, you can't. You can't. It's true. As I said, if you go down that road, I think it's you're chasing ghosts.
Yeah.
You will forever be chasing the fickle audience and their whatever it is that they're into at the time that they're into it. So if you're appeasing or you're running around trying to appease your audience, you will. And this is the thing. I recently got comments on one of my videos that I did a few days ago about, it was actually the title was dating during the corona, but I said a whole bunch of different things about that. And one of my commenters, who's actually she's a loyal follower, and I respect her opinion, but she went off on me on multiple comments in that video, and I've actually not even bothered answering any of them. What
did she say to you? What is she going off on you about?
It's in the comment section. She was displeased, shall we say,
because you're dating virtually.
Opinions. No. It was some of the stuff I said, because I mean I have some ideas about the female and male interactions. I have some ideas of sort of that aligns with, if you like, MGTOWs. There are some things that rub people the wrong way, depending on where you're coming from. I don't know, but I mean, those were my opinions and my ideas, and I'm never going to retract those. But admittedly, she did make a good observation or comment in regards to, I repeated myself several times because what I was doing was I didn't have my thoughts properly collated in that video. The stream, I just turned on my computer and started talking. And so I repeated the same thing several times, and I was actually it was in my own brain. I was going, oh Christ, I said this already, but at that point it was too late, and I couldn't. What I was doing was, it's actually a psychological trick where you're trying to buy more time. So I'm saying the same thing in order to buy time to say the next thing that I want to sort of think about. Manny's donated. Must read out the super chat.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Thanks for saying Manny. My name in the coolest voice ever. Go, Manny.
That's cute. That's such a cute little thing.
Of course, Manny's only donated £2, considering Manny.
That's like 300 Canadian dollars. Don't worry.
That's 300 Canadian dollars.
Yeah, dude, our dollar sucks balls, man.
Manny is a considerably rich man. You know.
Whoa.
That, right?
So you only giving me £2? Come on, Manny.
£2. This man is extremely wealthy, by the way.
This is how much he values me. $2. Thanks, bro. Fuck.
$2.
Fuck. I can't fucking believe this.
Thank you, big boy, for the $2.
Oh, thank you so much, big boy. You're so nice. I like your money. You can give me more money. Oh, look, he did another
one. No, you bribe. That's blackmail. That's black fucking mail.
Hey, this is capitalism, baby.
You can't put a super chat and force me to sing.
Just slap a dollar bill on that bitch and you will dance. Sing a song.
Holy shit. What the fuck am I gonna sing? I literally don't. Okay, hold on. I've got it. I've got the perfect song.
Sing, bitch, he says.
Hold on.
People be doing karaoke now, right?
Let me see if I can. Exactly.
They're organizing karaoke's and stuff on Discord because it's like, why not?
Okay, this is my effort towards semi-singing. It's not really singing. It's more spoken lyrics. I made it through the wilderness. Somehow I made it through. Didn't know how lost I was until I found you. I was beat, incomplete. I've been had. I was sad and blue. But you, Manny, you made me feel, yeah, shiny and new. Like a Manny, touched for the very first time. Like a Manny, when your heart beats next to mine.
Oh my God.
There you go. You're going to get that. That's all you're going to get from me.
And snaps. We can't clap.
Snaps.
That was
Snaps.
beautiful slam poetry, Banksy. That was great. You know what though? One of these days we should grow some balls and we should try and do some karaoke. I'm down.
Oh yes, Jay. We gotta get Jay. Jay would love that shit.
He'll do karaoke. I sense that Jay's pretty tone deaf, to be honest. He probably can't sing worth shit.
That's what's
fun about it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, I mean, we should definitely just fucking drink one day. You're drinking now, aren't you? You slut dog.
I'm just drinking water and Coke. It's totally cheap.
Hey, all you bitches in the chat right now, I hope you're drinking your water, and I hope you're taking walks, and I hope you're actually doing some fucking healthy shit that's gonna carry you through this quarantine and shit. You know what's so crazy to me is like people who typically don't go out and they stay home are the ones who are like fucking complaining about how, oh, I can't fucking go out. Nah, bitch, you're a child. Someone tells you you can't do something, you want to do it. You know why I understand that? Because I'm the same way. Okay, let's just fucking calm our titties and just be a little bit reasonable and try not to add to the sum total of negativity in the universe with your fucking panic and your dumb shit. This is a temporary state. Yeah, it might be around for a long time. We don't know, but we have to learn to adapt and deal with things and minimize the complaining. It's just, we gotta. The only thing I always find myself complaining about is complainers. I complain about complainers. Hell yeah, Manny Cinder!
Manny's spreading out. I think he's got like 10 pounds he wants to give you, but he's spreading it out in over 5 2-pound.
That's okay. Dollar bills, y'all. Cash rules everything around me.
Messages.
It's all good. I appreciate it.
Frugal. You see, he's even frugal about his super chat donations. He wants to get the most out of a tenner.
Good. I'm for it. I'm for Manny.
You cheap, Manny. Cheap. You could have done 5 10 pounds instead of 5 2 pounds.
What am I gonna do? Get on Chatterbait? Don't you understand? I have conjunctivitis. I have a disease. Give me money. No, I'm just kidding.
Chatterbait. Oh man, that's the thing is I didn't know what the hell Chatterbait was before.
Really?
Somebody told me about it, and I went and I was like, "What the fuck?"
I'm so surprised that you don't know what Chatterbait is or didn't know what it is until recently. I gotta say,
I had no idea. Yeah, I mean, I knew the usuals. You know, I'm old school with my porn.
Yeah, you're old school.
I know the X and XXs and the Hun yellow pages. And of course, you know, X Hamster.
So the question is, how old school are you? Are you landing strip? Are you full bush? Like, how old school are you?
How old school?
We will determine this by how much pubic hair you are cool with.
The 90s was full on afro.
Yeah.
I have to say, and then gradually I migrated towards small triangle, and then a strip.
Yeah.
Landing strip.
Yeah.
And you know, the shaven haven. So yeah, I'm actually incredibly grateful, because I know for a fact that the reason most 21st century women shave is because of porn.
Yeah.
There is no other reason. A
lot of old school guys don't like it because they're like, dude, what are you, fucking 12? Like, I need to.
Look, the way I see it is I see it in a practical way. For me, everything is pragmatic.
Yeah.
If I'm heading down under for a little Barbie and for a bit of shrimp on the Barbie, I don't want to walk away with a mouthful of fucking hair. I don't want to be a cat coughing up a hairball after I've gone down under for a bit of shrimp.
Oh fuck no.
So for me, it's really a practical purposes, and I don't want to have to ruffle through some kind of Steve Irwin jungle style in order to get to the. Oh, look down here.
You want to hear something so funny? So I heard this recently a few times. There's a podcast I listened to, and the guys were talking about, like, you know how some girls have really lippy pussies, like they're super meaty. They look like a roast beef sandwich. Okay, so the
True.
guys
Or a
on that
doner kebab.
yeah, some guys think that the pussy looks like that because it's been blown out, like because it's just been fucked too much. And it's like,
Ah,
dude, in the same way that dicks are shaped different, pussies are the same. Like
true.
you have more lippy ones, you have less lippy ones, and in porn
Oh
now,
yeah.
the girls are starting to cut the extra labia off.
I've heard they're sort of doing vaginal surgery, if
Yeah,
you
it's
like.
fucking vaginal
Yeah,
reconstructive surgery.
yeah, I've heard about that.
Ghost vulva.
Yeah, they want to get it all nice and like, so it's not flapping around like a, I don't know, like a dog's tongue in the
Yeah, yeah.
in when dogs stick their tongue out out of the window of the car and it's blowing in the wind.
Yeah, you know the dogs with like the really hanging faces. If they put their face out of the
Yeah.
window, it's like
Yeah, like a bulldog with his head out of a car window.
yeah. Oh my god, that's so great.
You just don't want your vagina to look like that. So
No.
I can understand.
It's sad
I can
though,
understand.
right? Because like a girl can control how her pussy looks, and there are guys who love it, and there are some guys who don't love it, right? The guys who love it just need to find those girls.
Yeah, I mean the thing is though, I've had my fair share of different types of vaginal cavities, and I know some girls are split up front, some are split lower, and if you get pregnant, if you've had a few children, the sort of it drops a little bit down. So those things do happen. Those things happen with a woman, but in all honesty, for the most part, I'm just grateful that I can look at a vagina. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
thank God I'm here with some vagina.
Yeah, yay! Win!
I have access to vagina today, and that's a good day.
I'm so happy. Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry about how, where, or why.
It's a lot more difficult for guys today than it is for girls today, like bitches don't understand, like we run the sexual market. The sexual market is a thing because you want to fuck us, you want to impress us. Like I don't understand how women aren't empowered by that. Yeah, most.
I mean, I will say this because of the MGTOW sort of red pilling of in recent times. I have recognized that actually the sexual marketplace flips when a man gets older. When you're young, there's a old saying: men are born poor and die rich, and women are born rich and die poor. And this is to do with the sexual market value, in which as women get older, their sexual market value drops, whilst as men get older, their sexual market value rises because of their, usually women like men with status, with money, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And so you tend to actually be more successful sexually later on in life as a man.
Yeah.
Whilst women, obviously men go for looks. Men, I mean, this is the other common known fact. Men will marry a woman of the same level or below. Women only marry men or go with men of the same social value or above. So they are hypergamous, whilst men are not. And this is why women who got careers and are lawyers and judges and whatever are now they're complaining about how they can't find a good man. That's because you're a judge. How many people become a judge? You will only marry another judge or someone higher you than a judge. You fucking became a judge. You made it almost impossible for any man to want to fucking be with you.
I think it's actually intimidating for men to be with a woman who is equally as intelligent or powerful as he is. Like generally that's not something you got to be real confident dude to be with a girl like that. You know what I mean?
There is that aspect as well. So a guy who's a judge wants to, if he has sort of, self-esteem issues, then he will go for a dumb blonde, because that dumb blonde at, age of 20, 25 or whatever, is going to look up to him and he's going to revere him. Whilst another woman, a 30-something-year-old or 40-year-old judge, female judge, she's not going to think of him as much. He ain't shit to her.
No.
So he's going to probably be more attractive. And besides, He's a successful freaking judge.
Yeah.
He's gonna look for a hot 25-year-old. He's not gonna look for a 40-year-old judge.
Yeah.
So because we're all men and women have different priorities when it comes to sexual partners. We are literally looking for different things.
Yep.
Women think that becoming a judge will make them attractive to a man. No, that is not how men find women attractive at all. They couldn't give a crap. You could be you literally, there are
you could live in a cardboard box. If you're hot, you're fine.
Well, yeah, there are literally millions of examples of successful multimillionaires marrying fucking waitresses at Hooters.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Clearly, they don't give a shit about your job.
No.
So this is the problem. I think to some extent, I kind of think feminism has some things to answer for those reasons, where they told women, no, go become successful, be whatever you want. Men will love you, and if they don't, well, they just don't like a powerful woman. You're intimidated by that. No, I made a ton of fucking cash so that I can hump that 25-year-old because all my life those 25-year-old fucking blonde bombshells told me to go fuck myself.
Yeah.
They wouldn't give me the time of day. Right. Now I've made this fucking empire in order to shag her. Yeah. That's the reason. I don't give a crap about your 45-year-old crusty ass who's become a surgeon.
So Manny just said, I'm from a Jut family. Our women are stronger than most men. So that's something we share in common, Manny, because my family is Jut as well. You know how the class thing works in the Indian culture, right? Like there's a separation there's a very clear social hierarchy. They don't want you dating across social hierarchies. They want you to marry somebody who is of your class. Now, like my dad's side of the family and my stepdad's side of the family, they're like the highest class. I believe Jut is the one, isn't it? Manny, I'll confirm. But like this is something that I grew up with and I never cared for it. But it's understandable like why they would have rules like that, right? Like you wanna breed with the same class of person to continuously keep that class above and also producing, right? You don't want you don't want your daughter from the rich family dating some peasant in the street.
Well, exactly. Oh yeah.
Caste. Sorry, Manny. Thank you. Caste system. My bad.
Yeah. I think there's still. I didn't realize. I thought that the Sikhs kind of didn't really care about the caste thing. I don't know.
Not as much here in India. It's still a thing though.
Yeah. They still have that. And so the Brahmins, where do they fit in that?
I don't know actually. Manny probably knows more. I shouldn't try and answer. Brahmins are not particularly.
I thought they were considered to be kind of high up.
Maybe in the Hindu culture.
Sorry, I spilled. Yeah. That is. I don't think that's the Brahmin thing is a Hindu thing. It's not. It's definitely not a Sikh thing.
So I get my shit mixed up because my mother is like, for her cultural religious background is Hindu, and then my stepdad, or my father even, like his cultural religious background is Sikh, right? So it's two different cultures. Like I'm a clash of two different cultures.
Kind of, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm white.
I'm a white man.
I'm like, I'm white.
I'm a white girl.
What's the deal? Like,
you're
delusional. True. I'm like, no, I'm not delusional. I'm white. Like,
yeah. No, I mean, as far as culturally, yeah, you're Canadian. You're white, sort of.
Yeah,
Canadian
people think I'm American because I don't. Like, if people don't see me and they talk to me and then they see me after, they're like, oh my God, you are not what I expected. I thought you were going to be some fucking fiery ass white chick. And I'm like, nope, I just sound Valley when I smoke some weed, and I don't know why, but that's just what happens.
Yeah. I mean, oh yeah, totally. Yeah. If I hadn't seen you, then just hear you, yeah, completely Valley girl. Depending on your mood. So sometimes you're Valley girl, sometimes you're, I guess, just regular Canadian. I'm not sure.
I'm just a multiplicity of people, like we all are. We're not a linear self. We're multiple selves. Our self adapts to whatever social environment we're in because we want to fit in and blend in. This is a survival quality. It's what we do. So to be like, it's strange as you get older. Like people are like, who try really hard to define themselves. Like, you're doing it wrong, dude. As you age, you you get less and less defined. The lines begin to
Mm.
blur more. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
there's so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
less distinction in your ideas, and things just start mixing up, and like that's what it is. I don't know why people want to hold on to this. I'm one person. I've never changed. I'm always going to be this way. No, you're not, bitch. You're
Yeah.
changing right now. Like
This is I mean, again, I have to relate it to the things that I studied, because back in the day, 10 years ago, so I studied sort of game theory, pickup
oh yeah. Oh
artistry and all
yeah.
that,
Mhm.
because I had no game when I was young, and I always resented the fact that my friends were so easy with women and they could talk
Mhm.
to any woman. And one of my friends told me about it, and I just got swallowed up by that whole culture. Now, this, regardless of the good and the bad of it, the one thing that it taught me, and this was something that all the people who wanted to learn pickup, the first thing
Mhm.
these geeks and these losers effectively who couldn't pick up women were saying, "Oh, I want to learn how to speak to women, but I don't want to change who I am. I don't want it to change who I am. I still want to be me, but I want to, be able to do." And the realization is, anything you learn, any course of study you take,
Mhm.
it will ultimately change you.
Yeah.
You will be someone else, because you will come out of it with new perspective in life, with the new knowledge and the new way of behavior. So it is impossible. In fact, you should embrace change. You should be able to,
But the
accept
thing
that
is, like,
you're going
our
to change.
environment, Banksy, like the way the government is, the way everything works around us, the way the education system is, it force fucks standardization into
Mm,
your life. And like the whole idea of life, this fucking American dream bullshit story that we've been fed of, like, you're successful when you live in a home, you have a white picket fence, you have 2 kids. Like they're
mm,
trying to, like, there's all this shit that is geared towards marketing a lifestyle that puts you in a fucking box. Because if
yeah.
you change and if you evolve and if you grow and if you learn, it starts to get really difficult to reconcile everything around you with what you actually want as a human. So like people get into these zones where they're just stuck in comfort zones and they're stuck in this habitual shit. And like they're sold the idea that the hamster, learn to love your hamster wheel, okay? Learn to love it.
Yeah.
This is how you're
That's
going
what
to
they.
acquire the most success in this life. And everything wants to put us there, right? Like antidepressants, as an example, they lessen the range of things you can feel. So you only operate within this frame of reference. You know what I mean? So there's
Mm.
so many things in the world that cut us off from those learning kind of brain plasticity kind of things that would make you change and give you a different perspective. The thing is, if the more people that gain a different perspective, the more ideas like government don't work.
Well, at
As
least
an
the people
example.
will be very, very cautious about the kind of things that government wants to do, so they don't want people questioning the 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 status quo, if you
Mm-hmm.
will. Because of course people in power and position of power and money want to keep the status quo, because that's the status quo is what's giving them the power and money and
Exactly.
influence.
Exactly.
So they're like, why do I want to change this?
Yeah,
This
so
is
we
working for
want,
me.
everybody is wanting things to stay the same, especially like you said, those higher up people, like the elites or whatever the fuck you want to call them, right? Because
Mhm.
this system is serving them well. So it's in their best interest to ensure that everything is standardized. Like, let's just look at education now. The internet in the last 5 years, if it hasn't made it obvious to you that the school system is so fucking defunct and old school and bullshit, then you're
Mm.
missing a point here. Like there's so much information and the school is only teaching you a very small chunk of that information through the biases and lens of whatever fucking country you live in, to big up
Yep.
your country or to big up the message of nationalism or fucking whatever the fuck it is. We're so great. Like that American exceptionalism idea that's just pumped into kids when they're younger, that gives them this attitude of like, I'm better. Like, Donald Trump is a perfect human representation of what America would be if it was a person.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, he is a perfect representation of how people think of that country, how that country has behaved in history. Like, just fucking brash and out there, and I don't give a fuck, and putting my
That's
dick in
true.
other countries' asses. Like, whatever. I'm America, bitch. Like, we're going to do it bigly, all right? We're going to do it bigly. We are great. The American dream is great. Greatness. Greatness existed for a while. You guys are running on the momentum of your founding fathers. It's 2020. Get your shit together. You know, now you guys are starting to fight amongst each other because you're all trying to keep that power, and that power is slipping. Yeah. And the more people know, it's so difficult to maintain the narrative that they're trying to, like, put out into the public, right? Like, again, there's just all these facets of our culture and existence that keep us in line, and we do it. We're complacent. And, like, once you do learn, once you read, there's a adult thing that kicks in of, like, okay, this is the system I live in now. I don't agree with it. I think it's bullshit. It's restrictive. It's this, it's that. It doesn't provide an avenue for me to fully realize my potential because there's so many fucking things that make it difficult. But I'm going to make the best of it as I can because I'm not going to jump out here and change the government or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you have to make... Yeah. But people don't have... Like, it's strange. People really suck at negotiating with themselves and their reality. So they create these elaborate narratives in their mind to suit their emotional states. And that emotional state just continuously bubbles up until the end of time, until they die. And then it's just, that's it. The life is just, that's a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but I mean, that's, in all honesty, when it comes to apathy, the companies, it's not just the government. When it comes to voting apathy, companies depend on, corporations count on human apathy. A quick example, your gym depends on the fact that they sign up more people than the gym has capacity for, because they know that most people won't show up.
Yeah.
They'll just waste away their gym membership month after month, but they'll show up maybe a fraction of the time. So they only have to worry about those really committed people who show up regularly, and they're a handful. Yeah. So they'll sign up practically twice the amount of the people that the capacity that the gym has, because they know apathy and procrastination and all that, they depend on it. Same as the diet industry, multi-billion-dollar industry, absolutely runs on the fact that it fails constantly.
Oh yeah.
If the diet industry actually was successful, was a all these pills and powders and potions actually worked, the diet industry would die, would practically vanish.
And the beauty industry, right? Like, there are industries that run solely on your insecurities, bro. They know they can, like, I can't remember where I was reading this, but it was talking about how social media is something that was created for women. Like, a lot of advertising is geared towards women because women buy dumb shit. We buy more dumb shit. You know what I mean?
Women are the biggest, even household spenders.
Yeah,
they spend. Majority of the household spending is in the hands of the wife.
Yep.
So that's been shown over and over again that men actually are quite happy with very, very sort of little amount of stuff. They have their little toys if they can afford it, their iPhones and their flashy cars or whatever. But a man could have 3 or 4 sets of suits, and he's good for like 10 years.
Yeah.
He's not going to go out and buy a suit every week.
Yeah.
Women, on the other hand, I mean, you just have to, like, every time you go into any large shopping center, go into a large clothing store, and that's got mixed men and women clothing store, and go and see the amount of space dedicated to men's clothes versus the amount of space that's dedicated to the women. It's like night and day. It's 90% of the shop is dedicated to the female, and also girls, women, and maybe the tiny corner is men and boys.
I've discovered something really awesome, because now that I just have so much money, I don't know what to do with it. I'm like trying to buy like clothes and just kind of replace some of my clothing, right? Like I said, I fucking watched that Jordan docuseries and I bought 3 Jumpman fucking hoodies. But you know what I figured out? I fit into a boy's small. So I can get 3 hoodies for the price of one adult, not even, like 3 hoodies for the price of like half of a fucking adult hoodie.
Oh,
because they're so
fantastic.
expensive. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like trying to find shortcuts now. I'm like, how can I save money? How can I not spend all the money, right? Like, I didn't even tell you, Banksy. Oh, I wanted to tell you so bad because I think I'm such an edgelord. Okay, so my phone right now has no service. I'm gonna get a new phone soon.
Wow.
But so I've been surviving for the past like 3 weeks, no phone service.
You have no phone.
Nope. I have Wi-Fi at home, and that's all I've been living on. And like the money is sitting in the bank account because I want to buy I got a SIM card in the mail. It's sitting right there. I'm this ready to buy my iPhone 11 Pro Max, but I don't know.
Girl.
I kind of want to live on the edge, and I don't want cell phone service. It
Kind
makes
of live on the edge.
Yeah, I'm a real edgelord. Fuck all you losers out here who think you're an edgelord with your stupid ass insults. Bitch, I'm running with no cell phone service, and it's amazing. It's exhilarating to get on the bus and be like, oh my God, if something happens to me right now, I don't know.
Well, actually, the 911 will still work.
I know. It does work. So that's why I'm not really worried. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to have a Vancouver phone number soon, which is going to be cool, but I'm going to put it off as long as possible because why?
Go, girl.
Yeah,
You
I
live
like
on that
it.
edge.
I like it.
You live on the edge. Living on the edge. We're living on the edge.
Yeah, it's gangster. I feel so cool. People are like on their like even when I'm on the bus and stuff, I don't generally use my phone. I've been reading, right? It's a nice place to read on the way to work. So I always look at people, they're like looking at their phones. I'm like, oh my God, look at your neck. Look how you're craning your neck. Like, look how your posture is so bad, man. People are walking with their phones. Like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that.
I don't understand why people do that because I can't be looking at my phone when I'm on the tube or the train or anything like that. I literally have to put on a podcast or a song or something. I put my phone in my pocket and I'm just listening to, it's just going in my ear. I'm not going to be looking at crap on my phone.
But have you ever looked at people?
Ever do. Sorry?
Have you ever looked at people when they're on their phones on the tube?
Oh, yeah.
All they're doing is scrolling through their menu screen, man. They're not even doing anything. They'll open Instagram, scroll, close Instagram, move their thumb, go back into Instagram. It's like, bitch, nothing changed in the last 30 seconds. It's just a tick now. It's a fucking physical tick that people have to just do this. To just do this.
True. It's true. It's a habit. It becomes like cigarettes and whatever. It's a habitual shit now that they're just performing like Pavlov's dogs, effectively. Because also the notifications, you hear that little bling or a little buzz, and like Pavlov's dogs, you respond, you react immediately to it.
I have it all off. Even before, when my phone was activated, I turn it because I know I will get distracted. It's like the same thing with power, right? Like if you give me the power to be a Hitler, bitch, I will be a Hitler. If you give me something that tells me, hey, you're being summoned or beckoned, I'm going to be like, what is it? What's happening? You know? And I don't want to be that person. So you actively have to do things to remove the distractions, you know?
I'll tell you this. A friend of mine from university, again, another one, he has never owned a mobile phone his entire life. I know. To this very day, I have to wait for him. He doesn't have a mobile phone like a cell phone, but he does have an iPod Touch where he can pick up Wi-Fi from local shops or whatever, and then I can communicate with him through Facebook's Messenger. Facebook's Messenger. And I told him I don't want to use Facebook's Messenger, but the only way, because he can't have WhatsApp because he doesn't have a SIM card, he doesn't have a telephone number, so WhatsApp won't work. So the only way he can communicate is through Facebook's Messenger, and I suppose there are other ones now, but I have to wait for him to get to some place, text me, and then he calls me on a public phone.
Those are still a thing? I didn't even know that public phones existed.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, where did you find this fucking phone?
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, where?
I'm at so-and-so station and I found, I'm calling you from a public phone. But the thing is, because calling from a phone to a mobile, the credits are so expensive, I usually have to call him back. I have to call back a public phone where he's so standing weird. And he has to answer the phone.
That's so antiquated. Bye, Manny.
Bye, Manny.
Have a good day.
Have a good one. Is he off? Yes, he's off.
Thanks for the dollar
Uh,
bills.
he's off to a house party. Manny, are you abiding by the social distancing rules at that
No,
house party?
that doesn't sound like it. Is it a virtual house party?
Manny does not give a shit.
No, that's all right though. That's all right. So, are you going to stream today? What's your plan today for the rest of your day?
For the rest, well, I mean, the thing is, this is my birthday weekend, if you
Oh,
will.
when's your birthday? Is
Monday.
Aw, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And what?
I'm gonna be an old ass. I'm gonna be older than or I already am.
You're going to be an older ass, so it's on the 25th of May.
Yeah.
Are you excited? Any
But
big plans for the quarantine party?
well, this is not a particularly poignant birthday, and to be honest with you, for the last 5 years, I've been trying to forget my birthday.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's
Actively
really
trying
not
to
that.
avoid it.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal, right? Like, it's.
Mm.
I don't know. I just don't find it to be that big of a deal anymore.
No,
Okay, so here's what I should say. I'll be honest. Like, I like it when people make a big deal of my birthday, but if they didn't, I wouldn't feel like, why didn't anybody make a big deal? Like, it doesn't matter. It's nice to feel special and stuff, but like, I don't need a birthday for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It comes every year.
I mean, it is nice if people remember
Oh,
or
for
they
sure.
text you and
I
say,
agree.
happy birthday. I'm like, yeah, that's quite cool. That's nice.
Yeah.
But again, no, as far as like too much sort of planning or partying, I do it every 5 years, like
Mhm.
25, 30, 35, 40, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So the fives I count, the ones in between fives, I just don't bother. And now with this whole Corona thing, we can't really do much anyway. So it's literally going to be my mom, my two brothers, me, and maybe, and I'm still not even sure on that.
Your girlfriend?
One friend. No, the girl that I'm dating. No, it's too soon. It's too soon. We haven't actually met.
Come on.
That's happening next week. So I'm gonna go on a picnic with her next week. So that's what's happening.
That's cute,
yeah.
Banksy.
Yeah.
So cute.
Whatever.
I love it. I love it. Good for you.
Well,
It
yeah, I
doesn't
mean, there are
have
no
to be bad, like dating is. See, I think I just never engaged because like for me it's very easy. You know what I mean? Like and I don't like easy. I like challenge and difficulty. Again, probably why I also like the long distance setup, right? Is because it is really fucking hard to maintain a relationship over vast distances like that. But like it's also nice to have someone here.
Yeah.
It's nice. You
Well,
know?
I mean, imagine if you had someone nearby and they'll call up, what are you doing? Nothing much. You want to hang out? Yeah, sure, come round. Or I'll come round. I'll be there in 5 minutes. I'll bring some drinks. I'll bring a dessert. So that's the kind of relationships I've had in the past where
Yeah.
I'm at work and I text her, how you doing? You wanna hang out tonight? Yeah, okay, I'll come round yours. I'll grab some dessert or some ice cream or something, and she cooks. We have the food, we sit, we have little dessert, we chill, watch some TV, maybe get some great sex. Who knows? I'll be honest, there were relationships where I got to a point where we weren't even bothered about sex. It wasn't like about the sex. It was just we're just hanging out, we're just chilling, we're eating some food and drinks and just hanging out with the other person.
Just being able to exist with somebody is kind of nice, right? Like where there's no pressure. Again, long distance is something that does that. But this guy that is around, he's ex-military and I don't know, there's just a level of maturity there that's kind of nice. He's like, yo, you do you, don't stress. There's no pressure here. Like, you do what you're comfortable with and we'll see how it goes. I don't want to force fuck something into reality. Let's just hang out and like fucking chill. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, let's. And like he came over, we watched Ozark, which he got me into. I don't know if you've seen that. Have you seen any of it?
I don't know, no.
Okay, so it's a Jason Bateman show and it's so fucking intense, man. And we just ordered skip the dishes and we just hung out. We had a couple giggles, and just watched the show and chilled out.
That's it. That's why I'm not, that's why I don't understand. Like, guys, this goes back to my old geeky days and no
Mm.
game days, and I see it in a lot of other men where they're all nervous and they're all running out of their brains. Oh my god, what am I going to do? It's the first date and this and
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and I'm like, guys, it's it's not a big deal if you've already established it.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's like looking at a mountain, and you're standing at the foot of the mountain thinking, how the hell am I going to get up that mountain? How am I going to get onto the peak of that mountain? Whilst when you walk around the back of the mountain, there's a set of steps,
Yeah.
and all you have to do is take a step. The final step, the getting to the peak, is no more of an effort than the previous step before it. So
Hmm.
if you build the steps, then getting the girl and going out with the girl and holding her hand and kissing her, they are holding her hand is no more of a difficult step than saying hello to her. It's
Hmm.
and kissing her is no more of a difficult step than holding her hand, because
Hmm.
you've built up to it. You build up these things.
Yeah, yeah.
Men don't do that. I know guys who go out on dates who literally don't touch the girl whatsoever, and then right at the end of the date, where this entire time you've had no physical contact, and then they thrust their lips
Yeah,
into
yeah.
their fucking face.
It's so
Like, what are you
aggressive.
doing?
Like,
What
feel
are
it out.
you doing?
Whatever happened to like feeling it out? Hey, let me like see what'll happen if I
Yeah.
grab her hand. And like those little tiny like
Yes,
explorations are actually super exciting, right? Because you're like, oh,
exactly.
new energy. Oh,
A, l-
oh.
a holding of a hand, a high five,
Oh,
a,
I
a
love
grab, a
holding
hug.
hands. Banksy, my favorite thing in the world is like having your fingers just interlocked with someone while you're
There you
sitting
go.
there and chilling. It's like so fucking nice, man. I love that shit.
Exactly, exactly. That is the quintessential part of. You see, a lot of people misunderstand the whole game theory about, oh, you're just manipulating women to go to bed with you. No, it's about telling a guy who literally has no clue that you can't thrust your lips and your
Yeah,
tongue down a woman's throat before you even held her hand.
yeah.
She's gonna get freaked out of that shit. What
Yeah.
is wrong with you? So
I mean,
this
if
is
all you want
something
to do
your
is fuck,
father.
if all you want to
Yeah,
do is
this is
fuck,
something your
then
father should have taught you. And if people don't have, we have a lot of single parent mothers and all that, and their fathers are not always there to tell them these things.
yeah.
So it is okay for you to read a book or watch a video of a guy
Hell
who
yeah, hell
literally
yeah.
tells you these things.
Yeah.
Um, and don't feel ashamed of the fact that you don't have game, and you have to learn. You have to learn
But
that
Banksy,
if
it
you
isn't
don't,
just about guys having game. It's also about women being able to communicate what they want. Yo, if you don't like something, say you don't like it. If you do like something, let him know. Like if he does something, signal to him
no,
you like it. You have to
yeah.
communicate. It's so necessary.
No, it is true, but unfortunately, women don't have game either. There are plenty of women who don't have game
I don't
because I'll be
know.
honest, women don't need game. Women
No,
don't need
no.
to initiate the courtship process.
I
It
hate
is all
that.
on the man.
I hate that
But
shit.
that's the way of the world,
No, I know, you're
unfortunately, and
right. I
it is the way
agree.
it is.
You are
And
correct.
women,
I just
yeah.
hate that shit.
But what I mean is, a lot of women don't have the confidence to also say, could you hold my hand, or just grab uh,
Oh, I just grab.
the
I'll
guy's
just be
hand
like,
themselves.
give me your fucking
Yeah,
hand, bitch.
but you know uh, you are an exception to the rule.
I know.
Shall we
I
say?
am.
You are the rare, they say, diamond in the rough.
I am.
But that's how it is. You're not going to find many women who are going to have that confidence or have that sort of attitude. So the man has to, the onus is on the man. It's always been on the man. It will always be on the man. I don't think this
But men like
dynamics is
feeling
going to
wanted
change.
too. You know, that's the other thing
Right.
that women don't get. Like, men like feeling desired and wanted as well.
Of course they do. But unfortunately, this game of courtship that
Hmm.
we have in our life, and maybe through technology, and in the future, the courtship scenario will change,
Yeah.
because women, and through the fact that women are liberated, things have changed already, and
Hmm.
things will progress to change, and there will be more women like you which will be more confident, and they'll make the moves. But for now, this is the game that we're dealt. These are the cards we're dealt.
Hmm.
And men, young men, I feel for young men. This is not a this is again this is because I've been there. I
Yeah.
was one of those guys who had no confidence, who had no I didn't even know that I should initiate the physical contact at the beginning of the date, not wait till the end of the date and then thrust myself. When I said the guy, I was that fucking guy.
Yeah.
that would expect to have my tongue down the girl's throat, even though I hadn't even held her hand. I literally didn't touch that woman for 6 hours.
Yeah, it's
And
definitely
now,
more pressure for guys. It's definitely more.
so you have to recognize it's a set of steps. You have to build up to it. Be confident. You know, I went out with a girl once, and we met at a bar, and I said to her, "Hey, how would you like to try Hendrick's gin? I drink Hendrick's gin. She likes gin and tonic."
Yeah.
And I said, "Why don't you like Hendrick's gin? It's a really good quality gin. It's really nice." She said, "Oh yeah, oh, sure, I'll try it." I went up to the bar. I ordered the drinks for both of us. Got the barman to make it exactly right, because Hendrick's, you have to put cucumbers in it, and sometimes they don't do that.
Yeah.
And then I came back. She absolutely adored that, because she literally, her friend said to her, "Oh, that was a move he put on you, because he's confident." But it wasn't. It was just the fact that I like this drink.
Yeah.
She likes this drink. I recommended it to her, and bam. Like just now, you just said that guy came round your place. He introduced you to a new TV show. So he was confident enough to say, "Look, I like this show. I
Yeah.
think you like this show. Let's try it out." But he wasn't apprehensive about, "Oh, I don't know what happens if she doesn't like the show. She's going to hate me."
Yeah.
All those thoughts run through people's heads.
Yeah, of course.
And at the same time, when I approached my girlfriend this way and she loved it, her friend, her housemate, went out with another guy off the same dating app that we met. And the guy had such little confidence that by the time they made a decision at which bar to go to. Now, by the way, I'd already arranged which bar to go to, where we're gonna go. I'll pick her up. I'll take her here. We're gonna sit down. I had all of that planned out.
I love it.
This guy had nothing planned out. They finally agreed to go to some local bar. Then when they went to the bar, the whole thing about, "So what do you want to drink?" "No, what do you want to drink?" "I don't know. What do you want to drink?" The girl said, "I finally made a decision for both of us, and I paid for the drinks." And that was the first and last date that guy ever got with that girl. Why? Because he's a chump. He's a friggin' low confidence, no decision making little bitch.
Yeah.
And nobody wants that. Now, if
man,
he had just been
pick something
instructed-
and do it. Pick something and do it. You can't be like this fucking flip-floppy bitch kind of shit. Like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I am already that person because I'm a woman. The last thing I need is your flip-floppy fucking floppy dick flaccid bullshit. You're hard or you're not. Figure it the fuck out, dude.
But what I mean is, this is the problem. Men are so, like, that guy, within half an hour, I could have taught him so many things. I could have told him so many things that he should have done, that he would have had a successful date and potentially a successful relationship with that girl. But because of something that he didn't know, which could have been taught to him within a half an hour conversation, he fucked up that whole thing and potentially a wonderful future with a great girl. And by the way, this girl was gorgeous, blonde. She's a lawyer, beautiful girl. They could have had marriage and kids and a whole host of things. But because he didn't have that half an hour conversation with the right person, all that went out the window. So this is what I'm saying about potential. And you could, there's so many men out there, and it feels like it's gut wrenching when I hear these stories and I see these people. And I think you could have changed your whole life around, but within an hour's worth of studying, and your whole perspective on life would be different. And this is again the thing about not changing. People think, I want to learn this thing, but I don't want to change as a person. Everything you learn in life will change you as a person.
Here's my question.
You will no longer be the same.
What is the point of acquiring knowledge if that knowledge is not going to be applied? Why fucking learn anything, dude? What is the fucking point? So you can say you know? Like, people are like, I'm such a fucking staunch representative of science. Science is the way by which I think and the way by which I live my life. And it's like, no, it ain't. It only serves you insofar as you're arguing with retards on the internet. But the information that is available about how you should be eating and what you should be drinking, you ignore that. So don't fucking sit here and tell me that science matters when you don't even apply the knowledge that science has provided for you to improve your fucking life, dude.
Exactly.
What's the point?
One of my favorite one of my favorite quotes from Bruce Lee, because I like Bruce Lee a
Yeah.
lot, is knowing is not enough. We
Yep.
must apply.
Exactly.
Willing is not enough. We must
We
do.
must do.
And that's that's just simple. I think personally rules of life is to acquire knowledge without doing it, or to be willing. And this thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not as everything I say is the things that I know that I should do that I
Same.
don't do in my own life. It's not. This is not a case of say do as I. This is the case. Sorry, of do as I say, not as I do, because I fail on so many of these. But at least I know where I'm going wrong. I am self-aware enough
Can I
to
tell you
know that I
something?
should be doing.
So the things that I've been reading just to keep myself psychologically stable, they all recommend the same things. You need to be aware of the negative forces or the things that are bringing in negative energy into your life. Like, energy is just the best way to describe whatever the vibe is or whatever, right? Because obviously you're picking up an energy from sources or whatever. The less of that you do have around, the better things are going to get for you. And if you care about your psychological health, you're going to make the decisions that are good for your mind and your heart and your body and your soul and all that corny shit. Because that is, like, there's information provided about how brains work. If you start to read that information, you can improve your life greatly. If you're not interested in that, what the fuck is the point of reading psychology? Like, that's what I think, right? It's like, you need to be aware of your relationship with your ego, your relationship with the internet that you want to have, with every single facet that you want to engage in. You need to understand the dynamic of your relationship so that you can make it work for you. Otherwise, it's just going to bring you down. So I stopped watching the news because all negative, all the time, all about the death counts, all about this, all about that, stopped. I have not given a single fuck about any of this shit that's happening in the news. And since then, I just feel better. You can tell, like, I look more vibrant and radiant. I feel better. I feel stronger. I feel better in my skin because there's not a million things coming at me telling me you're wrong, or the way you view this is wrong, or look how bad the world is. Like, the world is really bad. The world is bad, Amy. The world is bad. The world is bad. And if you keep hearing that message again and again and again, you're just going to feel bad. If you're hanging around people who are assholes, you're just going to feel bad. Like, it's just, it is what it is. It's simple math.
It is. No, it's absolutely. I mean, loads of these sort of gurus and motivational people tell you, you are what you focus on.
Yes.
So if you focus on negative things, you will manifest those negative things into your life.
Yes.
You focus on positive things, or you focus on things that will bring you success and positivity, it will manifest. It will just, whatever you think about, whatever you focus your life around, you will manifest that in your life. It's just the way we are. We think about something, and if we keep thinking about that thing, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You make that thing happen. So it's up to you. What do you want to focus on? Do you want to put your focus and energy into negativity and thoughts of how much of a loser you are, and how life is cruel, and how the game is rigged against you, and there's no way of succeeding? Or are you gonna focus on how to improve your life and how to get better and how to do better?
The thing to realize is the game is rigged against you, bitch. You're gonna die. Every single one of us is going to die. Life does not come without death. So you better make use of the time that you're on this planet and surround yourself with things that are going to, like, anything that is good for you isn't just good for you in a weird esoteric sense. Anything that's good for you psychologically is going to increase your well-being, thus increase your quality of life. Like, it's all about your mind state. Your mind is the most powerful thing ever in your life. And if you can just understand, like, how important it is to have your mind right, and once you start, like, making the decisions that will cascade all this positive shit on you, you're never going to understand, like, how valuable it is. And, like, it helps to go through negative and fucked up shit because it makes you appreciate the good. Like, you cannot understand what good is without bad. You can't understand happy without sad. You need both. You have to grow your appreciation for the good transient mind states, because they're exactly that. They're transient,
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing about the Buddhist philosophy of yin and yang. They are the facets of the same thing. They are existence. There is no good without bad.
Right.
There is no bad without good. There is no light without darkness. You can't have them without the other.
Right.
It intrinsically, one feeds the other, and that's how it is. And you have to recognize that with every action, with every effort you put in, there will be some negative and some positive out of
Equal
it.
and opposite reaction. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, hopefully you will increase the positive and reduce the negative. That should be your sort of goal, if you like, to increase the positivity and increase well-being and reduce negativity and reduce sort of harm to yourself and the people
Yeah.
around
But
you.
we said this thing earlier where we were talking about like everybody's just trying to create this kind of solid state where it's just like habitual and you're just like one constant state, and that's not how life works,
Mm.
right? You can
Oh
continue.
yeah.
Everybody's chasing the idea of happiness and they're trying to avoid sadness. Like the less sadness you experience, the less like ferocity your happiness has. They're congruent. You know what I mean? You can
Mm.
only be as happy as you've been sad. And you cannot
That's
increase
true.
those capacities if you're trying to make this frame here of negativity smaller. Like you have to be able to take the good with the bad. It's
Yes.
this, right? They work like
But what?
this.
But I think also it's a perception of what is bad.
Yeah, that too.
That also changes. Sometimes losing, sometimes failing, people see that as oh, this is bad, I failed. But actually, if you learn from the failures,
Mm-hmm.
then that failure was actually the stepping stone you needed towards gaining the next, to becoming good.
Yeah.
So that, so it is down on our, it is really up to ourselves of how we approach how do we approach the bad, what is
Mm-hmm.
supposedly bad. This is why I said, like, school and parents, my parents, in this aspect, they failed me, and it took me a long time to recognize. And my brother, on the other hand, who's, I think, much more intuitive than I am, recognized this sooner than I did, which is failure isn't bad.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with failing. What is worse than failing is never trying. It is far better for you to fail 1,000 times and succeed on the 1,001 time
Yeah.
than to have never started at all, because you will eventually succeed if you keep at it.
Mm-hmm.
But to never to have tried because of your fear of failure, that's the actual crime. That's the actual harm, is that you stopped yourself from doing something because you fear the possibility of failure. And this is something that took me, I say, a long time to recognize. And my brother, on the other hand, he stumbled across it, if you will, much sooner. But I know for a fact neither of us got that tuition from our parents. Our parents were petrified of failure of education, failure in
Mm-hmm.
your job, failure in this, failure in that.
Yeah.
My mom, to this very day, is scared to death every time I resign my position in a job and look for a new job. And I've done it many a times. The fear of, I mean, like the way she says to me, and other people, by the way, do that. Like, I quit a job in 2018. I quit my job without any other job. I had
Mm-hmm.
no other job. I didn't even have an application in front of me. I just decided to quit my job.
Yeah.
And my mom lost her shit. She thought the world is going to collapse around
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
I said, it's like, how could you quit your job? You don't have any other job. What are you going to do? You're not going to do. Within 4 weeks, I had another job.
Mm-hmm.
Within 4 weeks, I had a better job, better paying job than the
Yeah.
job I had. I'm like, what is this? Is your fear paralyzing you? If it was up to you, I'd be stuck in that dead end job for the next 20 years.
Yeah. You
But
know what
I
else?
recognized.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go
Sorry, go
ahead.
on.
Go. No. No. Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say I recognized that this was the time for me to move, and it doesn't matter whether there was another job in the horizon or not.
Yeah.
I had to make this decision, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna be let fear paralyze me.
Yeah.
Uh, that you're not gonna get another. No, I know I'm gonna get another job because I built up my career for 10 years. I worked on it. I know where I am. I know how much knowledge I have. I know my industry. So your fears are your fears. Don't project your fears onto
Yeah.
me.
It's not even just
And
fear. It's like people. You can't fully appreciate the fruits of your success unless you acknowledge how much you suck. Because you're
Mm.
like, unless you do, how are you going to be able to understand like what your evolution looks like, right? And like the other thing about success stories is people see the end result. They're never privy to the pursuit and the difficulty and the fucking grind that is involved to be at a level that's proficient, whatever your field is, right? Like there are people that will look at Michael Jordan and be like, fucking Michael Jordan. It's like, yeah, do you even understand his life before? Do you understand how much he's been playing
Yeah.
basketball, how much he practices, how much time they dedicate to being this good? And how much they do it when they don't want to and all that kind of stuff, right? Like with music and
Mm.
me, I'm like, God, I fucking suck so bad right now. But like if I acknowledge how bad I suck as I'm continuing to progress and learn, and I'm like, oh shit, like now I've added EQ into my repertoire. I can play with EQ and I understand that. And now I'm going to add another fucking filter or do this or do that. And when you can notice yourself trying to do different things because you're learning and spending the time, and you're like, oh, look, the results come. But you can't be focused on the results. You got to be focused on the pursuit. The pursuit is the
Yeah.
secret to life. It's all about the chase. It's not about the end result. What is the fucking cliche? It's a journey, not a destination. There should never be a clear destination. And if there is, once you get to that destination, we just want to do more. When you make $100 million, that's not enough, bitch. I need 110 million next year. You know what I mean? We want to evolve. We want to grow. We want more. So that's, if you just can get to that point where you've kickstarted something that you're doing, get obsessed with the pursuit of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely. This is why successful people, you see them and you think, Steve Jobs, multi-billionaire, Bezos and Bill Gates and all these billionaires, and you think, why are they still working their asses off every day? Because the money isn't what they're doing. They're not chasing the money anymore. They're doing this because their sheer will and the fact that who they are now. Initially, it was to get the money, but now it's created them as a person, as a personality. It has influenced them in such a way that they can't stop even if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Because it's just them. It is who they are now, and they are now doing it not for the money anymore, obviously, but they're doing it because it is their passion. It is what they do. It's what they get up in the morning.
Potential. They've converted that potential energy into kinetic energy, and they're making moves. And once you start going, you keep going. You know what I mean? You build momentum, and then that momentum just can, again, it's the pursuit. It's not the result. The more you focus on actually doing the work and doing the things, the results just come. They just come. And other things come out of that too that you didn't expect would come out of it. But if you focus on the result, it takes away from the enjoyment and the pursuit of actually trying and engaging in the activity.
That's my problem at the moment with weight loss and exercise is I'm too focused on the result than I am on the pursuit, and I'm trying to figure out, and this is my problem. When I was younger, I played football almost every day of my life. Every day. I mean, it's almost without fail. 5 days a week minimum. I would play football at school. I would play football after school. I would go to training for football, twice, 2-3 times a week for a league. Constantly, football was part of my life. And it had nothing to do with fitness. It was just because I played football.
The love of the game.
Yeah, and so the fitness part wasn't even on the cards. It wasn't even like, oh, I have to go running. And my problem is now, and this is what I'm trying to find, is I want to get into either a sport or some kind of pursuit in which I will do this exercise not because I want to lose weight. I will do this exercise or this thing, this sport, because I love the sport, because I enjoy doing this. And if the weight will come off as a byproduct. The weight loss is a byproduct of me doing the thing I like. That's why I like the boxing. I like kickboxing. I like jiu-jitsu, because it's nothing to do. I don't do them because I think, oh, I'm going to lose weight. I do them because, hey, big up on the water.
I just want to shout out, big up on the water, and big up Manny, because he said, Amy K and Banksy talk like they're a wise peeps. Listen, bitch, I am a wise peep, and so is Banksy. who have lived through difficult times. I fucking have, okay? Never give up and never stop trying. I'm driving and listening, but stop to type this. We love you. Don't text and drive, you dum-dum. But yeah, we love you. And I mean, I
Love you,
appreciate
Manny.
that. I appreciate that.
But yeah, I mean, again, everything that I say, I fail a lot.
Yeah, me too.
And every day I get up and I'm like, okay, I got to get my ass up, and I got to do this, and it's a struggle, and it's not easy. And it never, I don't think it'll ever get easy. And this is the quote. I've got so many quotes. They say, it never gets easy.
You get better.
You just get better. Exactly. High five. High five.
See, like, this is so good. Like, it feels so good to talk to you. I feel like I'm talking about things that are mentally nutritious. We barely touched on COVID in comparison to the rest, right? And like, it's just like, when something becomes the hot thing to talk about, I don't fucking care for it. Like, everybody's like, oh, Game of Thrones. I'm like, nope, I don't want to do what anybody else is doing. I want to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing all the time. Everybody's talking about COVID. I want to be out of that world. Bitch, I had that shit. I'm done. Like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to talk about things that people are talking about because everybody wants to talk about current events and news and shit. And like, that's just not my jam. The reason we have all these problems is because people cannot communicate. And that's why that's important to me. And that's what I always want to do. And like, it's so good to sit with someone, with a friend, and have a conversation like that because there's a wholeness, a feeling of wholeness for me that comes from that. And I love it. Like, such good vibes and good energy here.
It is, and I actually feel like I want to go and do something. Like now, I've got this like little energy inside me, like an energy ball that feels like I want to go and do something. I want to do something positive with myself.
That is what happens when you have positive interactions and you're around people who make you feel good. That's why I want to make people feel good. Like, when you feel good, when you feel supported, when you feel like you have someone that shares your ideas and like you can have a nice, open, no holds barred discussion about it, it makes you feel pumped, like hype. Fuck yeah, it feels good. I'm gonna go fucking do this. I'm gonna go do some jujitsu, or I'm gonna go burn some energy. You know what I mean? Yes, yes, do it. That's right. That's right.
That's what I mean. I'm gonna make there's another thing Anthony Robbins keeps saying. Always make a list, and it's called a list. He always adds a list making workshop in all his programs, where you sit down and you write a list. Not just think it. Literally write it down by hand and stick it on your wall. The lists of things you're gonna do in the next. You know, I mean, there's multitude of lists. Things you're going to achieve in the next 5 years, things you're going to do in the next week, things you're going to do. You know, it's all different types of lists. But
you need goals.
Always make a list.
Goals help you orient yourself. You know, like they act as like goals are Jesus. Goals are the North Star. Goals are the highest ideal that your compass will help you point to. But you cannot. Unless that symbol, that goal is identified, it's very difficult to find your way. You know what I mean? At least you have, you have something, because that's all that Jesus is. Jesus is just a symbol that represents the highest ideal. That's it. He's not a real person. He is a mechanism of narrative to help orient the story. And that is exactly why goals are super important. Like lists make it easier for me to remember shit because my memory is diggity dog shit. So I gotta like remember things, and I'm like, I swear I had things to do. When I'm in the moment, I just need to write a list. If I'm going to the grocery store, I need to write a list. It keeps me on point. I'm not wasting time. I'm not fucking stoned walking around like I'm hungry. I just fucking want everything. I write a list. I go in. I'm in and out. Bam, 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 done. Right? Like it makes it easier for you. For you. Like, why wouldn't anybody want to make their lives easier? No, you just want to do this. And then you're like, I don't have energy to go to the gym. I don't have energy to do this. Yeah, cunt, you're on your phone all day, bitch. Do something healthy for you. Do something healthy for your brain. For fuck's sake, stop complaining about how miserable you are and do something to change it.
It's so true. So true. I say it's weird. I feel pumped after this. This is like a pep talk.
I fucking love it. I feel good too. I'm glad that we connected and I'm glad that we talked. Like I've always loved talking to you. It's good.
I told you, you're my happy place.
Yeah, I think yeah, we have a mutual
I got
happy
baby
place
K
here.
for my happy place.
Fucking love it. Like we should get together like once a month at least and do this and just have a chill and talk, you know? It's good vibes to put
Definitely.
out into the world.
Definitely. We gotta get Jay in on this as well. We gotta get him. I don't know what he's up to right now, but I think
I
he's
honestly
actually.
I haven't really talked to Jay. I haven't really talked to any of those people. That's part of the thing
Really?
that I cut off is I didn't want to talk
You
to
cut
anyone.
out.
Kinda. Yeah, I just like as
I'm
soon
with
as
you.
I
I'm
get a
with you.
sense of kind of bullshittery and fuckery, I don't want to be around that kind of
I'm
shit,
with you.
right? But it's cool. I don't mind. It's just a fucking stream. It's not like I need to do anything
Yeah.
major, you
Well,
know?
we can do it on my channel. We can do it on my channel. All
Sure.
three of us.
Fuck
We
yeah.
could chill. But I'm telling you,
Karaoke?
I think Jay would be in on this. He's all right when he's. I mean, as from the interactions, because I don't know any other side of like the other. I'm not on Discord that much. I honestly don't really use Discord, and so I don't know the ins and outs of other dramas. All
It's
I
not even
know
drama, but you
is
know what happened
you,
like a couple
me.
months ago, right? Like I just wanted to separate myself as much as possible from a group of people that there was a breakup involved and I just don't want to be near any of that because I think it's negative and I think it's
Yeah,
uncomfortable. You know what I
toxic.
mean? I don't need it. I don't like
True,
that
true. No,
stuff.
I mean, if as I just think Jay would be so. Like, I don't know. I like him. He's such a
He's
sweetie. Do you
wonderful. No,
like
no,
him?
no.
Such a likable guy.
He is likable. He's a big sweetie. That nobody
Mm,
can deny. He's a big sweetie.
he is. He is. He's just. And I think this sort of conversation, he would be well in for that. I think he would love this sort of stuff. Because I just can, get that vibe from him that this sort of a threesome type of conversation. Yeah, he would be well into it.
Well, I'm down. If
But
you want to set something
either
up,
way.
you let me know.
Yeah,
All right?
definitely, definitely. I'll try and set it up in a similar sort of timing because he is, I think, about 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours ahead of me. You are about 8 hours behind me, so 8 o'clock
Yeah, yeah.
your time will be 4 o'clock my time, and hopefully it'll be like seven-ish. I don't know, 7, 8
So
o'clock
the
his
best
time.
days for me are probably Friday or Saturday. So you just let
Yeah,
me
that's what
know.
I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking as well. Actually, yeah, he's already on a stream right now. That's I think he's running a stream. So that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I think Saturdays around the same time it should be good for all of us where it's not too early for you, it's not too late for me, and it's not well, it's middle of the day for me, but it's not too late for Jay, and this threesome, this unholy trinity will
Yeah, again, like I
we
said,
just
you're gonna have to
we
talk to
shall
him
make it.
because I have not like I have just haven't communicated with any of those people.
I'm with you. I'm with
So
you. That's fine.
if he's
That's
cool,
fine.
I'm cool. We can definitely do it. But if not, no,
Yeah.
don't worry about it. Like I'm still down to
Oh
stream
yeah.
with you.
No
It's good
worries.
vibes here,
No
good
worries.
energy. You know what I mean? I like it.
And that's what I mean. If because this, I'm not joking. I feel like I just took like some creatine or some pre-workout. I feel like
You know what that is?
I
That
want to do
I
something.
promise you, Banksy, it is vitamin Amy. Like I
Vitamin
it's
Amy.
the Amy effect. I'm here to hype you, man. Like with people that I really like, I want to see you do well. I
Yeah.
want to see you kick
Yeah,
ass. I
man.
want to see you succeed. I want to see you fucking do the workout you don't want to do. And if I contribute in any way to positive energy in that regard, I'm so happy. That is the most I could ask for in life, is to just be a positive force in someone's life. Be something that is encouraging, that makes people want to move and do things. That is huge for me. So
That's
I hope I'm part of that. And I hope that you're
yeah.
feeling
Yeah.
that
Oh yeah.
from
No, for
this.
me, you definitely. This is was what I was reflecting on when I came across these people who just recently died,
Yeah.
especially Issa, because that's exactly the thought I had. Is that if I shuffle off this mortal coil, who have I positively affected?
Yeah.
And 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 if I pissed people off and if I upset some people, although I don't want to come out as like, oh, I'm so sorry. And no, I'm actually not, because some of the people I pissed off,
Fuck them.
fuck them.
Fuck them.
Fuck
Straight up.
those
Fuck
guys.
them.
But I still don't want to. I don't want to sort of. I would rather the people that I positively affected were in the majority than the ones I negatively
Dude,
affected.
I would love the people I've negatively affected to come and talk to me, but these bitch ass niggas won't do it. So just shut the fuck up and go die in your fucking corner, you goddamn bitch. Because unless you're gonna fucking come and talk to me, don't be talking to me about how Amy's negative, Amy's this, Amy's that. Fuck you, dude. Come talk to me. You don't even know me. But they won't.
Exactly.
They won't. And I'm always open to anybody, even if you're a fucking retard anonymous icon, to come and actually turn your camera on, you Mr. Big Man. Oh, you so
Stop
big
being a
man.
bitch.
You such a big boy. You no turn on your camera. You no even fucking want to talk. You just want to come and leave the comment. Hey, fuck you. You are faux fuck lie. You are fucking faux fuck lie. Garbage. You're a garbage human being. That's what you are. If you can have a goddamn conversation with a girl, you're coming out on the internet to talk shit. Bitch, who are you talking to? Fucking seriously. Oh.
Exactly. Oh, that's wonderful.
I'm an asshole. Like, this sickness has just given me the fire, man.
Yeah, I guess again, all of these things, these times, especially we have time at home and all that. I think it should be a great opportunity for self-reflection. People should really take advantage of that.
Oh yeah.
Fuck
yeah, reinvent yourself, motherfucker. Good God.
Manny put down vitamin Amy.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Is the best.
I hear that a lot. I really do.
Even Manny, who's an anti-vaxxer.
Is he really?
Will take advantage.
Maninder Cinder, what are you doing?
Manny's a big anti-vaxxer.
What a dirty bitch.
Hey, Spooky.
Hi, Spooky. Woo. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, that is awesome.
So maybe this is a great spot to end it, because we've just had a wonderful blowout ending, and it's been great to talk to you, and I love you so much. Yes. And I thank you for your time, and I love this exchange of energy. Positive energy!
Yes.
Fuck
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me on.
My pleasure, dude.
It's giving me, like, I swear to God, as I said, I feel like I'm just, like, I'm going to go push-ups.
Fuck yeah. That makes my heart so happy. I can't even tell you.
I genuinely feel all like pumped up at the moment.
Good. Fuck yeah. More life, Banksy. More
life. I'm going to make a list right now.
Fuck yeah.
I'm going to do some push-ups.
Fuck yeah. I love it. You know what? Remember that day when you had messaged me and you were like, you gave, what did you say to me about the shake? Remember? You're like, you inspired me to make it to juice. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, I can't, like, I'm elated right now. That is the kind of shit that I love. I'm like, hey, I'm just making a kale shake. And you're like, that inspired me. And I'm like, that's intense, right? Like, to inspire another human being to do something positive for themselves. I'm like, you love yourself. Oh, I love it. I fucking love it.
I know. And then afterwards, I made, for the last couple of days, I've actually been making smoothies every morning. You know, when I showed you I did an exclusive
that was so smoothie. You don't even understand like how much that shit just like, oh my God, it just melts my heart. Yeah. I love it. Like those little human things, right? You inspired me. Here's a little video for you. Just wanted you to know I'm making a healthy shake. And I was like, so happy.
I just want to know all the people out in the internet. I'm grifting. The shake video is on my OnlyFans page.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. People have asked me about OnlyFans, and I'm like, nah, bitch, OnlyFans. I ain't got no OnlyFans account. I'm not doing
that. You should. You should make an OnlyFans and then do all your shake videos.
You know, I like the idea, like I have that ring light, but it has a clip on it and it has a clip for the phone. Like you were kind of talking about your friend has it. So that's what I've been using to sit in my bedroom, because I really like how my bedroom is all set up now with the purple lights and stuff. It's really cool. So
nice.
I kind of, I like the idea of like bringing people into different parts of my life and my house. You know what I mean? Like that's more than just this like kind of sterile podcast kind of environment. I like the idea of like,
Yeah.
come hang out with me in my kitchen. Like, come hang out with me in my bedroom. Like, let's talk. Let's just have a casual chat.
That is really cool. Yeah, it does make it very personal. It
Yeah,
does feel
it's
like
nice.
I'm I'm watching you. You're just chilling. You just woke up out of bed. You got that cool blue sort of lighting and all that in
Yeah,
your bedroom, and you're just having a chat. It's true. It does bring your fans. It puts a different dynamic to your audience and your fans. So
yeah,
yeah, that was definitely a good maneuver. The problem is I can only have this setup of with a green screen for the general public
yeah. Of course.
because my enemies want to shank the man.
Yeah, dude, that is so fucked up.
My, they want to chef the man, so I can't allow them to see anything
Yeah, no, you can't. For you, it's safety. Like,
publicly.
it's really cool to me, like, even though you may have like some brash opinions or whatever, that like it's very difficult not to have respect no matter how much you fucking hate someone who is putting their face out there and the words are coming out of their mouth and you can see it and they're owning that shit. Like, just showing your face and
Yeah.
saying those things is a way of owning what you're saying. I respect that.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
always going to.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why I can't, for you or for Jay or for personal what I consider beyond just internet people. You guys are like almost, but you are personal friends. I open up my life if you like in that level,
Yeah.
but when it comes to the general audience, I'm still. It's not just the fact that I've said some really nasty shit
Mm.
and they want to shank the man. It's also that I'm still extremely guarded with my personal
Personal life,
privacy
yeah.
when it comes to the internet, because I still think the internet is an incredibly dangerous sort of place to have too much of your life exposed. But
You're right.
from my angle, because I come from that anti-religious or whatever, that sort of thing, and I've generated some serious sort of
Hatred.
antagonistic,
Yeah,
yeah,
antagonism
hatred.
indeed.
But you, on the other hand, you haven't done that, even though you've addressed some serious, some serious,
Dude, people
sort
come
of.
at me with their bullshit, man. I'm not here to start
Mm,
shit. People want to start shit with me. Fucking Sarah
yeah.
Hatcher, fucking Devin Tracy, all these fucking people who just want to start shit. Dude, go fuck yourself. Go sit in
Yeah,
your
but
corner
Devin,
and chill.
yeah, but Devin might give you some crap verbally, but he's never gonna come and knock on your door and try to strangle you to death.
No, I fucking hope not, man.
I don't know. Maybe if he's taking too much of that creatine pre workout, he might be roid raging. Him and that vegan gains.
Oh my god, vegan. Oh yeah, vegan gains. Oh my god, I totally forgot about that idiot too. Like, he tweeted me. He came at me. The only reason he did though is because he thought that he could get to Devin through me. Because Devin was like, I don't want to fucking
Ah,
talk to these clown shoes. I don't want to talk
oh,
to
I
Ask Yourself.
see.
I don't want to talk to vegan gains. Yeah, why the fuck would anybody want to talk to me? I had nothing to do with any of that vegan shit. I just have an attitude problem. And they're like,
No, no, but
oh,
that was.
she's tight with Devin Tracy. Let's fucking try and talk to her. And then I'm like,
Oh,
here I
I
am.
see.
Yes.
That
And then
makes
here I am.
sense. That
Here
makes
I am
sense.
talking to this idiot who's acting like a fucking
But
child.
he did you the greatest favor.
Oh,
That was
great.
the best
Great.
video. That was one of your greatest hits. You know that's gonna go down on your greatest hits
Oh, for
album.
sure. For sure. Yeah, for sure. That was a really
So
fun, engaging exercise for me too, because I kind of got a little bit of a taste of what it would be like if I had a 3-year-old toddler and was a mother. Just screaming at me. Does personal pleasure justify torturing an animal? Does personal pleasure? I'm like, Jesus, motherfucking Christ, the energy you have to say that again and again and again and again
yeah,
and again.
I
Whew.
I was actually on a vegan video, except my video was in the Speaker's Corner Park, and I didn't realize this person was actually going to put me on a vegan thing. I was just because he wasn't the person I was talking to wasn't recording. He just had like there's a bunch of vegans who come to Speaker's Corner and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have signs like
Of course.
don't eat me, God is a vegan, and all that crap.
Yeah.
And I just started debating with it. And the thing was though, I was wearing a t-shirt which has the what's it called, the Heath Ledger Joker, but as the McDonald's clown.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. That's
It's
great.
a really, really like cool. I've got
Mhm.
it somewhere. It's a really cool T-shirt. Anyway, And the title of the video that they posted, and the guy who recorded it wasn't in front of me. He was behind the other guy. I didn't even notice him. But they titled the video "McDonald's Lover Talks About Eating Meat."
McDonald's lover. What a fucking moniker.
They totally missed the point of the t-shirt.
Yeah.
The t-shirt is supposed to be McDonald's character, but as the Joker.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's out there. It's out there somewhere. And in the comments section, they are just tearing into me. The comment section, funnily enough, of a vegan channel is not favorable to my argument for eating meat.
Oh my God. The comments under that Vegan Gains video, which by the way, at least every couple of days, I'm still getting comments. Like, they're just so funny and they're so polarized. It's like, or it's, you're both fucking idiots. It's fuck you, Amy, or fuck Richard, what a retard. Or you guys are both fucking retards. Yeah.
They don't see, this is the problem. People don't understand the genius of eating a steak whilst discussing
so great.
Veganism with a vegan.
That was great.
That maneuver itself would elevate you into the genius category. You don't need to even say a word.
He was so awkward too, because I'm like, so what did you have for breakfast, Richard? And I'm like cutting my steak and there's blood on my plate and I'm just like, hom nom nom. And he's like, oatmeal, a banana.
Yep.
Good times.
I'm sure it's those oatmeals and bananas are great compared to the steak.
Oh God, that steak was a filet mignon too. It was such a good cut of meat. It was delicious.
I got hungry just looking at that. Yeah. No, that was the best.
What would be better than a bitch eating a steak, rolling over this motherfucker right now, trying to yell at me? It was such a satisfying moment because I kept my cool the whole time. And you can't fuck with calm. You know what I mean? Like when a person starts getting hype and shit, it's like you have very little control over your emotional state if something so little is going to get you so hype. Not me, bitch, because my parents abandoned me. If you can do worse than that, maybe you'll get a reaction. But other than that,
you ain't gonna get shit.
It's gonna be real tough for you, babe.
Oh, that's I mean, very good. Don't make me shake my steak, Lacey.
Yeah. Don't make me shake my steak at you, Richard.
Oh my God.
That was a great moment. Yeah, that was a really fun stream. I had a lot of fun doing it, and
oh, it's epic. Okay, I'm gonna let you do your thing.
Okay.
Taking up enough of your day.
Banksy. And it's always a pleasure. Okay.
It's been awesome. Let's do it soon, and hopefully we can bring Jay into the fold of this. No drama bullshit. Just
no haterade.
The stuff we talked about. Positivity.
No haterade. I'm not interested in like being involved in any other way. Like streaming though is totally different. That's just fun and entertainment.
Exactly.
And that I can most certainly do.
We can roll with that.
Oh,
can roll with that.
Fuck yeah. I'm always down for fun, man. I'm always down for fun. Banksy, I love you.
I love you.
And I hope you have a great day. Go fucking do something productive, okay?
I'm
going to go do some laundry, bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, you do that laundry. You do that laundry like a fucking champ.
I'm going to fucking do it.
You let those linens know who's boss.
They already know. Big kiss. Mwah. Bye. Mwah.